Good morning, everybody. This is the Oskar Quentin Show, where we take calls from the general public and talk about politics. We've been doing it through TikTok Live for a long time. I promise that the phone number is coming very, very soon. We were just having a very hard time convincing TikTok that our backup account is not to be used for nefarious purposes. Maybe they're wise to what we're working on. Anyway, if you're watching this after the fact on YouTube, you can find a pinned comment in the description below that'll tell you, or pinned comment in the comments section below that'll tell you when the first oppositional call starts, as well as more comprehensive timestamps in the description. Oh, pardon me, having a hard time getting my backup accounts in. Let's get the multi-guest request queue open. What was yesterday? Yesterday was Saturday, August 22nd, in Minneapolis. Jake Lang and a bunch of his buddies came and drove a couple of vehicles down the fucking sidewalk at a already crowded demonstration. And I'm pretty sure that normally when you drive a car down the sidewalk towards a group of people, the police shoot you. That's normally what happens. That's not what happened yesterday. We do actually have some evidence that the driver of the lead vehicle was brandishing a firearm, because my buddy Derek got some footage of that. But I was there. I was right there, eye level with Jake Lang and Jaden Scott, with a face full of fucking mace, screaming through the tears at those motherfuckers because there's not enough mace on this planet. Whoa, I'm noisy. Let's mute that. There's not enough mace on this planet to stop me from giving Jake Lang a hard time when he comes here to fuck up my city. And I've been trying to get that close to him for a long time. And I had not succeeded until yesterday. So Jake Lang knows what my voice sounds like. He knows what it's like to get yelled at by me. And he didn't like it. I don't think he liked it at all. The primary goals yesterday, the things that I actually cared about for the day, were making Jake Lang look like a bitch, because he is a bitch, and I want to make sure everybody knows that. That was definitely successful. He looks like a very adorable little Nazi in the videos of him cowering in that pickup truck. But really, I want him taken off the streets because he's a violent, dangerous criminal. He's a J6er that Donald Trump himself pardoned for violently assaulting police officers at the Capitol on January 6th. Attacked him with a metal baseball bat. And he also frequently comes to my city and assaults people, brandishes weapons, violates people's rights, that sort of thing. So I wanted him taken off the streets. And importantly, he had pending felony charges here in the Twin Cities over in Ramsey County in St. Paul for vandalizing a sculpture that was permitted at the St. Paul Capitol building, state Capitol building for Minnesota. And that, because it was permitted and expensive, it was a felony destruction of property charge that it was pending. And the conditions of his release involved doing no crimes. And he did some crimes yesterday. Same with Texas. In Texas, he had an ankle monitor put on him for terroristic threats against Carmelo Anthony for saying that he would take things into his own hand if he wasn't found guilty, which is vigilantism and terroristic threats. So there's those two things where he's violated his conditions of release. And that's not even in consideration of the new charges for rioting yesterday and any additional charges that may come to him and his cronies for bringing weapons to a place, driving a vehicle on a sidewalk at people, macing people, and for some reason getting escorted by the local police down the street while you did that. Because I'm pretty sure that if I did that, they wouldn't let me get to the end of the block. They wouldn't let me drive away and then apprehend me later, which is what did happen. He did get arrested for this. But he's facing a mess of shit because of what he did yesterday and because he's violated the terms of his release for these other charges. So victory, I think we're going to have Jake Lang locked up. Raven, who's in the producer's chair today, do you think we're going to keep Jake Lang locked up this time?
Hopefully. He's already he destroyed that ice statue. So he's already got the pending felony. So this can't be good for that. Do you think
the streets of Minneapolis will be quiet if he's released again?
No.
Yeah, I will be on the front lines of the protest if he is allowed to walk in any way. His bail needs to be $1 billion. He needs to be denied bail. He doesn't need an ankle monitor. He needs a fucking ball and chain. The guy is a violent, dangerous criminal, and the police protected him while he assaulted us yesterday. So if you want to see if you hate my guts and you want to enjoy some of my liberal tears, you can go watch videos of me fighting through those liberal tears to spit mace in that motherfucker's face, because I was yelling so loud that I started realizing that I was misting mace into his fucking eyes by yelling at him. That was an accident. Anyway, I do have some donors to thank because people have been sending me money a lot since yesterday. I gotta, just before I do that, just say to everybody, first of all of the love that I'm receiving about how I performed yesterday in terms of getting the content that I wanted to get and getting my voice heard and participating in this in the way that I wanted to. I need to distribute that among a bunch of people because Jessie and Raven, both the staff, also caught a lot of mace yesterday. We were all washing each other's eyes out. They had, frankly, more responsibilities than me. I was just there to be loud and fucking do my thing. And they were responsible for cameras and microphones and live streams and like all sorts of other shit that was happening. The live stream is going to stay up. No advertising, no monetization on that. It's just going to stay on YouTube forever. Feel free to go watch it. We'll probably be watching clips of it today. We also had a bunch of other friends. Derek, Lia the Wild showed up and had a little powwow with us at the beginning of the day to show his support. And we met some viewers of the show from the Discord who came and met us at the Commons Park and were kind of part of our team that we'd gone over some rules about what's legal, what's safe, in terms of going to these sorts of things. So like any bit of love that I get about how yesterday went, there's like a dozen people in my immediate circle who deserve a little bit of that. And then of course, everybody for turning out and making sure that once again, Jake Lang showed that if you try to throw a hate rally in downtown Minneapolis, there's not going to be more than 10 people on your side. Well, there were more than 10 people on Jake Lang's side if you count the police officers that were protecting him, because it was like 5 of him and his friends and like 50 police officers who protected him. So fuck those cops for that. But really, fundamentally, no fucking surprise there. But I'm going to start getting to some donations. Do we have anybody in the queue? We don't. Good, because there's lots of fucking donations. So I've got like a pile of messages to read starting yesterday because Max was telling me to stay safe for $25 on Buy Me a Coffee yesterday morning, and then he sent me another $25 after, so thanks for the $50, Max. He said, thank you, Oskar, Raven, and Jessie, for all you do standing up for minorities. That's the idea. Alexander also sent me $25 on Buy Me a Coffee. He doesn't want his message read, but it's very, very sweet, very kind. Okay, and then I think I need to go all the way back to... Where are we on Venmo? Okay, hold on. Lance started the day sending me $25 before we even went out, saying just protest. So thank you. Bought a round for everybody. Let's see. Who else? Oh my gosh. Julian sent $15 to say amazing showing against Jake Lang. Coward didn't even last 30 minutes against Minneapolis. When you start selling merch, you need to use that gladiator pose you hit after throwing the barricades as a design. The aura you had was absolutely fucks. Yeah, there's a lot of neat footage of me out there. We didn't catch all of it like in-house, so I'm still sifting through live streams and stuff. Andrew Berghoff sent me $25.
Oh,
thanks, Andrew.
How kind of her.
Yeah, how nice of her. I like finally shook her hand yesterday. That's very kind of her to show her support. Dylan sent $1. He said, this is somebody from the Discord. He said, fuck Jake Lang. White supremacy is a problem for us white people to solve, and you standing on business is absolutely inspiring. I'll say it again. Fuck Jake Lang. Free Palestine. Hope you're recovering from the mace. Yeah, my shower this morning wasn't too spicy. My shower yesterday was a fucking nightmare. It reactivates the mace. Getting out of the shower, I was in more pain than I was at all at City Hall yesterday. This morning, 3 out of 10. My ears really hurt and my hands really hurt, but I'm doing okay. How was your shower today, Raven?
The shower today was not bad. Yesterday, it stung, like you said, worse than the actual macing itself.
Yeah, the shower yesterday was awful, but I really made sure to stick it out so that the second shower wouldn't be so bad. So I think I'm doing okay today. I didn't get too much skin irritation, but I did get maced more yesterday than I had collectively been maced in my entire life so far combined, which is not a little bit. It was a lot of mace. I don't know how many times I got maced. It just kept coming. It was like half a dozen times or something, but fuck it. I was there to yell at Jake Lang, and that's what I did. Ryan sent $30 on Venmo to say, for standing up to Nazis and getting maced in the process, W Oskar, W Raven, W Jessie for being Oskar's henchwomen and carrying all the gear. I hope you all got home safely. And some emojis. Yeah, we had a round with the team. I bought everybody a drink, and so we all had a nice frosty beer, and then we all went home and got to like editing and dumping footage and all that stuff. Which we're still sifting through. There's still going to be reels getting posted about this for the next 48 hours. So just make sure you're following me everywhere if you want to see those.
Speaking of footage, did you ever get the body cam footage?
Oh fuck! I keep forgetting about that. It's in the backpack back at my apartment. Might have to field trip to go get that during the break today before the evening programming.
Just kidding.
Oh man, no. It's Jessie's day off. Let Jessie rest.
Absolutely.
All right. Rebecca, go away. We're talking about you, not to you. Rebecca sent $20 to say thanks for you and your team being out there in the thick of it today. Glad y'all are safe. Thank you so much. I am glad that nobody was seriously injured yesterday. I have not heard of any serious injuries from yesterday. If somebody did get seriously injured, I'm not aware of it, but I think for the most part we escaped without too much bodily harm. And then Keila sent $50. Thank you. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for educating all of us and fighting against fascism. That is the two things I do. People are learning all over again. My viewership has grown quite a bit since the last time I was out on the front lines, but I got my start in social media as a frontliner. So yesterday was actually like facing chemical irritants and worrying about getting run over by cars or getting shot or something like that. Like that's actually kind of more normal for me. The debate thing is new. Thank you very much, Kyla or Keila, however it's pronounced, for the $50. And Ethan, holy shit, when did this come in? Did this come in this morning? Ethan sent me $200.
Oh wow!
Yeah, for you and the team's brave, fearless, and courageous actions in downtown Minneapolis yesterday. Thank you all for being who you are. Just yeah, dude, fucking. I'm glad that you think that we're doing something worth supporting. That really does. I mean. It's so exciting that we get to go to a thing like yesterday with some organization and like frankly a budget. What are you doing? Oh, do I
you got something on your lip?
Oh, I do. Oh yeah, well that's the thing with chemical irritants, isn't it? There's right.
There
Gross.
No,
Gross.
still there.
I'm just gonna hide behind the microphone. Oh, we have paper towels here. Yeah, I did get maced a lot yesterday, so I'm not gonna apologize if I'm like slightly snivelly or if the skin is falling off of my lips or anything like that. Just let me know. Just let me know in the chat if I'm gross. I
was trying to fix your crown discreetly, Queen.
Thank you. I was oblivious. I was too locked in. No, because Ethan, that's a fucking huge donation. There was a long time where the show couldn't even think about that sort of income, and like to have it just come from one person who decided, you know what, I want to make sure that Oskar Quentin and his staff get to do the things they're doing and hit some buttons on my phone to make it happen. Ethan, thank you. It's huge. Kelly sent $5. She said, didn't say hi yesterday because we all ate mace at that point. Let me know where to send photos if you want them. Fuck Jake Lang now and forever. Kelly, if you're not in the Discord, either get in the Discord through the link tree in the bio, let them know that you're Kelly who has photos from yesterday, and they should let you in pretty quick, or just message me on Instagram. We can get you a link to send stuff, because yeah, that was one thing we missed. We should have announced to people that they should meet up with us and get footage to our phones before leaving, but a lot was going on yesterday with that didn't end up happening. Anyway, thank you again, Kelly, for the $5, and thank you, Evan, for the $20 on Venmo. Good job yesterday, Oskar and crew. Can you explain to me how you interpreted Jake Lang's sign? I'm a bit confused about it. His sign said that Jake Lang doesn't hate, or that Jake Lang loves black people, but hates N-words. And I could reference like maybe a Dave Chappelle bit from the early 2000s about the difference between black people and N-words. I choose not to, other than vaguely alluding to it in that way. But essentially, he's saying that he doesn't hate black people. He hates black people who misbehave, which is some seriously racist, dog whistly bullshit. Because you don't need the color of the person's skin. You could just say that you don't like people who misbehave, and you certainly don't need to use any slurs to say that sort of thing. Also, fuck you, Jake Lang, you misbehaving little baby back bitch. So. Also,
it's just a dog whistle, because how do you tell which ones are misbehaving and which ones aren't at a glance?
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby, thank you for the $6. He said, I noticed white supremacists like to talk about to talk to you about black people for some reason. The book, The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, will round some points for you. I think I've read that one. I think I have an ex that read that book to me, like from a hammock while we were camping or something. We went down a whole rabbit hole about like segregation era stuff, Jim Crow laws and civil rights and stuff. Changed some of my more naive positions about race relations in the United States. Learned a little critical race theory after my formal education, because wasn't perfect back then when I was in school. That's Venmo. Thanks everybody who sent support yesterday and throughout the night and all that. Same thing happened on Cash App. I think I have to go back to yesterday. Yeah, Carrie sent me $20. She just said thank you so much. Thank you. Ross sent $6 at the beginning of today's show. He said, keep up the good fight. I will work on it. Lisa said, can't send much, but I'm so fucking proud of you all. Appreciate you. Don't donate money if you're strapped. Don't worry about it. You can get your message read for $1. You don't need to send any, don't feel no obligation to send a big donation. I'm still reading $1 donations. That probably won't be the case forever on this show, but for now it is. And don't sweat it if you're broke. It's also not hard to get in touch with me. You feel free to pester me if you want to. I think, okay, I got to be careful because there's like a whole mess of stuff from all these different places. I should, before I start reading the YouTube super chat, because we were live on YouTube but not TikTok due to the nature of yesterday's events, there were a lot of YouTube super chats that came in yesterday that I didn't read. Maybe I'll poke through the live chat and like make sure I can get a reply into each of those. So I'm sorry if you sent a super chat while I was getting maced yesterday and I wasn't able to respond to it, but I would hope that you forgive me potentially for not responding while I was getting maced. But on that note, fucking rest in peace, YouTube moderation team. I know yesterday was insane. I'm gonna give you guys some numbers. Normally, the YouTube VOD gets like 3,000 views, maybe 3,000 unique viewers during the 4 hours that we're live, and then the VODs themselves get like 1,000 to 3,000 watchers late, like after the fact. It's like less than 10,000 total views. And I actually don't think any of my long live streams on YouTube had surpassed like anything like 10,000 views. I get more than that on TikTok pretty frequently, but the stream yesterday got 100,000 views, 100,000 unique viewers. So like 10 to 100 times more than normal. And a lot of them were Jake Lang fans. So rest in peace, moderation team. Fucking love you. You guys were fucking fighting. I put Sam in charge of like being the point of contact if we needed to like turn off comments or something, because I was right there in the thick of it. But like, if you're in the YouTube chat right now, I'm watching. Like, seriously, can we get some fucking clapping emojis for the mod team for like? Okay, here's the victory, mod team. The stream did not get restricted yesterday. Like that. Like I said, I'm not rolling ads on it, so I don't give a fuck about any of that. But I didn't want it age gated, and I did, because even if it's not really content that I want kids watching, it still just gets restricted in the algorithm if we get it like overrun. But like the fact that the mods team was able to keep up yesterday, fucking. W's for the YouTube mods team. I cannot believe you guys kept it down or held it down. Fucking unbelievable. So just needed to get that out there before we hopped over to YouTube super chats for today, which have already started piling up, and then maybe we can get to some calls and talk to some of those cowards who say that I'm not brave out in the streets or something because they're not familiar with my work. Live for my baby sent $10 to say so proud of your work yesterday. Thank you so much. Blue Baron sent $2 to say thank you very much for being so inspirational. I'm trying to tell people that like the least you can do is show up, and like you didn't have to be right there at the front catching mace to be a part of what happened yesterday. But it is chaotic and it's not for everybody. So if I inspire you to participate in whatever the right way is for you, that might not be going and getting maced. Maybe that's starting a TikTok debate show. Maybe that's just calling in some MAGA lives and trying to talk some sense in them. Whatever participation in this thing is for you, it's not going to be the same for everybody. So if I can inspire people to do anything in this thing, it's find what you're good at. And I'm pretty good at eating mace and functioning after being maced, and I'm pretty good at talking into a microphone. So those are the two things I like to spend my time doing. Metalizer sent $2 to say glad you're all safe. You guys are heroes. Just like I said, trying to do the things we're good at. I actually met Raven at a pretty chaotic protest event when there was another like debacle with Savannah Hernandez, a different type of Nazi. So like I picked my staff because of the overlap with like like Raven has overlap with the activation space, like activism, and then Jessie has production work history with me. So it's like the confluence of those things that meant I could trust them to run this show and this platform with me beyond just hiring like a Fiverr producer, like a Fiverr editor. Like I could have just hired an editor. Like it wouldn't have even been like financially that different, but I just needed somebody because the job is more than that. The job, it's like editor, but maybe also get a face full of mace every now and then, and fucking Raven went fucking hard yesterday. You kept the live stream going. Like I watched through it. Like you were down when you said that there was a lull in the live stream because you got maced. Like I was like, oh yeah, of course that's forgivable. It was like 30 seconds while you like fell over on the ground and got your eyes washed out. Like that doesn't even count.
And then I actually couldn't find you for a solid minute or two. It seems very fluid, but I was running around screaming, I can't find Oskar. Yeah,
I was there. You and Spider-Man were amazing. Dude, me and Spider-Man defending Minneapolis. New Yorkers showing up. Jake Lang for mayor bitch in 2027. Yeah, we only elect bitch mayors in off years. Cheyenne had used their monthly member message to say, so proud of you all. Thank you very much. Hayden sent $5 to say, W to Spider-Man throwing hands at Lang, and W to Raven's video shot of Lang cowering in the passenger seat of the fleeing truck. Guys, go to my Instagram. There's going to be crazy footage. Most of the place where most of the footage is going to be, like the clearest picture of what happened yesterday, is going to be Instagram, because it's like the biggest platform where that stuff is like allowable. I can't saturate too much on YouTube or else it'll suppress the content. And because of the like violence and hate speech and stuff like that in it, a lot of it, I'm spacing out posting them to the main account here on TikTok, because I'm terrified that I'm going to get the account banned for like something in the background or like whatever. So I'm like posting one, waiting an hour to see if it gets flagged, and then going to post another one. So definitely follow me on Instagram, follow the backup accounts here on TikTok in case I do get banned on the main account for trying to cover some of this stuff, because we've still got a couple days work getting through all the content that got generated about it.
Also, for those wondering about the video that I posted on my TikTok, it is pulled straight from the VOD of yesterday, but it is pretty iconic. Just seeing him cower like a bitch, and then he storms off.
Yeah, and like I said, the VOD will stay up. About an hour into it, the chaos starts, like an hour and 3 minutes, something like that. So just go to the live tab on my YouTube account.
Yeah, there's a pinned comment, so look for that.
Somebody from the community got the start time of the chaos tagged, so I like pinned it just because I was on the go and didn't have time to dig through it myself. Ewing sent $2 to say free Spider-Man. W's in the chat for Spidey lads. Yeah, I think I'm willing to say hashtag free Spider-Man. I would argue that it's not. We'll get Law in the Wild to talk about this, I'm sure. I don't think it's assault to punch somebody who's riding a pickup truck down the street macing people.
Depends on fighting word laws in Minnesota.
No, I think he's like presenting a grievous danger to it'd be the same thing as punching somebody walking down the street brandishing a firearm.
I would say if he was not the driver, it's kind of hard to argue.
I think, but given this is where it's going to get legally muddy, because I think that like he's clearly the leader of this organization, which is why the charges he caught were for rioting.
Right.
Because there's an organized effort to cause this mayhem to happen. So yeah, I mean, ethically, I'm perfectly comfortable saying that if a group of people are attacking your city in the way that they were, driving a vehicle down the sidewalk, macing protesters and journalists, like, defend your community, right? Like, that's not allowed. And the cops were protecting them, which is the most insane part of this whole fucking thing. That was the big question for the day. Are the cops going to fucking protect this guy? And they sure fucking did.
I think another factor to consider is the fact that he was essentially charged for inciting a riot. So if you're stopping the guy that's starting a riot, I feel like that's civic duty.
Well, I mean, I just think that him being charged for doing that makes it so that hands thrown on him after he started doing that is self-defense, but exactly. I don't know how that works in the courtroom. So I would think that,
logically,
Spider-Man was clearly just trying to perform a citizen's arrest, which would have been very valuable for the community.
Absolutely.
Because, okay, to be clear, like as much as we're being a little tongue-in-cheek about this, we talk a lot about political violence against Charlie Kirk or Savannah Hernandez, but those are two Nazi assholes who talk into a microphone, and there's a very important, meaningful conversation to be had about the harm caused by, Thank you, Tino. Holy shit, thanks.
Wow.
Thank you, Tino. There's a serious conversation to be had about, like, if your hate speech incites violence against the people that you're hateful of, like, what culpability do you have for what happened to them? And, like, that's the sort of argument that people make about Charlie Kirk or somebody like Savannah Hernandez. Great. We can argue about that, sniff our philosophical farts about it, sure, whatever. This is different. Jake Lang is a fucking armed, dangerous fucking psycho who, like, comes to my city and assaults people.
Pardoned J6er,
who assaulted law enforcement at the Capitol and was personally pardoned by Donald Trump. And is now emboldened by that pardon to go commit more political violence, as he did yesterday. So, like, yeah, Charlie Kirk sucks. Savannah Hernandez sucks. Fuck them. But, like, they're not on the street with weapons harming people. Jake Lang fucking is. The dude is armed and dangerous, and I will be fucking upset if he walks after this, because for those who've gathered up, we have more viewers than we did at the beginning of the stream last time I said this. He violated the conditions of release both for a felony charge in St. Paul over in Ramsey County, also down in Texas for his terroristic threats against Carmelo Anthony. So he's in big trouble. What he did yesterday was bad, and he's violated terms of release on 2 other serious charges. So my whole thing is that if he walks free again, I will be fucking mad about it, and you will see me at the front lines of the efforts here in Minneapolis to protest the fact that the federal and state governments continue to fail to protect us from an obviously dangerous and armed fucking psychopath. So will I see him again? I fucking hope it's nowhere but a courtroom. Because he assaulted my ass yesterday.
Also, I think once the whole Jake Lang thing dies down a little bit, we also need to focus on why did the police literally open a hole for him to drive up onto the sidewalk?
Yeah, it's fucking bananas.
Their official statement was that the police were trying to protect the crowd from being ran over. That's why they were shoving us with their bikes.
Mm-hmm.
So why did you even let him up there in the first place?
Fucking insanity. Kevin Allenborough has been a member for 2 months. He used his monthly member message over on YouTube Super Chat to say, thank you for your passion to educate and never give it up. It is your calling to make sure you do. Here are 5 more students for you. Oh, and then he gifted 5 memberships to people. Thank you very much for doing that, Kevin. Members only stream is going to be interesting tonight. I'm going to be tired. I did not sleep very well because my skin's on fire from all the mace. So I'm running on like 4 hours of sleep, and we got our long production schedule today. 4-hour debates, 5-hour break, and then 7 p.m. evening show. The guest on today's evening show happens to be somebody who was there yesterday. That wasn't planned that way, but it did work out that way. So that's going to be interesting. And then the members only might just do. Forgive me, everybody, in advance. The members only might be shorter today because I will be running on fucking fumes by the time we get to closer to midnight where it normally ends. Tremav sent $5 to say, I'm still baffled at how the hell did he really have a personal protection detail of cops? Again, everybody's like, well, we're just supposed to let the crowd tear him apart. Like, of course the cops have to protect him. No. He's driving a fucking truck down. He's on a truck that's being driven down the sidewalk by a guy who's brandishing a fucking firearm, apparently, at people. There's some evidence of that. We don't have confirmation. Footage isn't clear enough for me to say it with certainty, but Derek sent me some footage that looks like the driver of the vehicle was brandishing a weapon. And like, I'm sorry, I thought if somebody's driving a car at people, you're supposed to shoot them. That's what I thought the right's position on this was, that if you do that in the streets of Minneapolis, for example, maybe you're supposed to get shot in the face is what we're supposed to do about that. Mr. ICE agents that were they ICE agents or were they people dressed as ICE agents who were there? Because there were like a couple guys that had badges that said agent. I don't know.
Jake Lang pays them to look like ICE agents so that it helps his propaganda.
Yeah, fucking ICE agents themselves look like fucking posers, so it's like hard to fucking tell the difference. But yeah, like the fact that they made it down the block instead of being fucking apprehended is insane. It's insane, the fact that the tires didn't get popped. It's insane, the fact that the windows didn't get broken on that vehicle and the people in it didn't get pulled out and apprehended by the law enforcement. Because we know that if anybody on the left drove onto the fucking sidewalk that a bunch of pro-Trump counter-protesters were on, they would immediately be shot in the face. Like, the hypocrisy is fucking screaming, which is why I'm going to be fucking mad. Yeah, I mean, Raven just reiterating that Dr. Dankenstein 42069, buddy of the show, Derek, who's also there, like he had the driver of that vehicle brandish his firearm at him. He's pretty sure, and I've seen the footage, and it does look like a firearm. And I think in that sort of situation, it's the sort of thing where like you still catch the charge for that, even if it's a squirt gun painted black, right? Like you can't fucking do that, right? Like it's. In fact, one of the things in like Department of Homeland Security use of force guidelines, for example, that we could look at is the fact that one of the things that makes it allowable for you to open fire on a driver that Jonathan Ross did not have in the Renee Good case was fucking if the driver has a firearm. Which Renee Good didn't, so it makes it not allowable for Jonathan Ross to fire upon her in the way that he did. But in the case we saw yesterday, it actually, I don't know if the use of force guidelines are different for MPD or if there were actually ICE agents there. It's hard to fucking tell, again, if it's just Timu fucking mall cops hanging out with Jake Lang, or if they're actual fucking ICE agents. I'm gonna bring Long the Wild up, but I still have a couple more donations to read through, and then I gotta loop back through the donation messages donation methods because I got more from all of them. But I'll say hello to
you can finish them up. I've got a minute.
Sure thing. Anyway, where the hell were we? Yes, Kevin sent guest memberships to everybody, and then Howler sent $20 on YouTube Super Chat to say fuck Jake Lang and his bitch and the bitch ass police that were protecting him and the band of neo-Nazi scum. Massive kudos to you and the crew. Took that mace like a badass and jumped right back in his face. Yeah, I was there to yell at him. I didn't care how much my face hurt. I just kept screaming. It hurt a lot after, but like I was just like, I was just seeing through it while I was there. Joey has been a member for 2 months over on YouTube, so he used his monthly member message to say, W, Oskar, Raven, Sam, Jessie, and Mods, L, Jake Lang. Very happy to be a part of this community. We also love butt mustard. I still have room, so fuck ICE and fuck Donald J. Trump. Hell yeah, dude. Nikki sent $5 to say the fact that the top part of their sign fell off and left just their true message, the part where that said, Jake Lang loves black people fell off, so it just said that he hates N-words. Except it actually said the N-word instead of N-words. Tailuji? I don't know how to pronounce your username, but I appreciate the Tailuj. I appreciate the $10. I hope your eyes are feeling better. I wish I could have been there to support you all, but I hope this helps. Love, thank you. P.S. Hi, Raven. Hello, Raven.
Hi, Ty.
And then Pararoom sent $5 to say Nazis are a known entity. We know their end goal. Punching a Nazi is always self-defense. Well, like I said, there's like a philosophical argument, not really a legal argument. We got Law of the Wild on the line. Maybe we'll talk about that sort of thing in a minute here. Tyler's also became a supporter, member over on YouTube, which means they'll be in the member-only stream tonight if they want to be. How fun. Metal Rose Mavs sent $2 to say, you are all absolute badasses. Keep fighting. All right, we got through the first donation loop, but I'm going to go back to the beginning because I think potentially... Oh, shit. Yeah. Yep. Okay, hold on. Where the fuck were we? Yeah, we read Bobby. Let me make sure we read Bobby. I think that was... Yes. Read that one. And then Tavis? I don't know. I'm sad that I don't know how to pronounce your name because you just sent me $200 on Venmo with the message, W for yesterday. No amount of donations can equal the benefit of being patriots. W Oskar, W Jessie, W Raven. Love you all. Will support you all anytime, any place, anywhere. Thank you. The spotlight came back to my city yesterday and it hadn't been for a little while. So everybody's getting this reminder that I do this out there frontline activation type stuff. But part of what we're trying to do with the bigger budget that the show has, thanks to so many donors, is take the show on the road. We've bought gear for that. I finally just bought a laptop that can run the show to the same capacity as the desktop computer that's sitting on the other side of Studio B over there. We're doing our first out-of-state trip at the beginning of September, actually for me to get some free dental work. Thank you for that dentist who's going to donate me some new toofers. Seriously, that's a big donation to the show. But that's going to be kind of our low pressure trial run to get the show on the move. So we're going to try to have more days like yesterday, as terrible as that might be for us, because that's what I want to spend the budget of the show on is keeping the 4-hour debate block to the best of my ability. It'll be shortened some days. It'll be the different times some days. Both of those things some days, but I'm trying to do this every single day and not have that be interrupted by taking the show on the road to either go debate people in person or just follow the spotlight wherever it goes. Sad that the show wasn't in a position to do that back at the beginning for Delaney Hall, but maybe we'll make our way out there or wherever the spotlight goes next as the federal government continues to be weaponized against people who actually fucking believe in the Constitution or ethics or human rights or any of this important shit that I care about. So thank you very much for the $200. That's the type of shit I'm going to spend it on. It's fucking huge that people want to make that shit happen and go to Venmo on their phone and make it happen. So thank you to you for that. And thanks to Tommy for the $20. Tommy said, fuck fascists. That's all he wanted me to say. I agree. Fuck fascists. Fuck them. Fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. Vicky sent $1 to say, did you see this? Police did explain why they intervened to protect / escort Lang's vehicles out of the crowd rather than arresting him right there. Interim Minneapolis Police Chief Bill Peterson said, continued on the next dono. I see you putting in a string of donos, but I will read this if they have a new statement out. I've been looking for potentially their explanation. Officers were trying to separate the opposing groups and prevent further violence, and that making arrests in the middle of that confrontation could have made the situation more dangerous. Bullshit. They were operating a vehicle. Why are they trusted to not run people over with a vehicle, but we aren't? What the fuck? Anyway, that's not Vicky's fault. Vicky's just relaying what the police department says. She goes on with a third donation to quote, police ultimately let the vehicles leave the immediate area, tracked them, and then arrested everyone in the vehicles later. Sorry, had to split the message. No worries. And thank you for the $3 that you sent to get all that out. And that's important context because, again, I would just argue that, like, even if we're going to say that that's a strategically reasonable way to handle it, it is not the way that they handle people on the other side doing the same thing, which is fundamentally what I am most upset about broadly, is hypocrisy from the way that the federal government handles law enforcement against people on the left and the right under this administration. So yeah, I do appreciate you getting that information to the show, because we're going to be talking about it all day, I think. Or maybe we're going to get into some standard debates, but we'll see. Araxis sent $2 on Cash App to say, y'all think ICE agents don't moonlight for Lang? Oh yeah, could be working double duty. Okay, over on Buy Me a Coffee. Let's see. Lucky. Oh, okay, hold on. Where were we? Rianne sent $1 to say, just wanted to say, hey, and that I love what you guys do. The whole team is wonderful. I'm a Canadian, and I'm wondering your opinions on Donald Trump's continuing attack on us. I mean, he's disgraced the relationship the United States has had with a lot of countries, including Canada. And I'll have you know that my mom's side of the family is Canadian. I actually have Canadian citizenship, and I'm trying to get a trip up there this year to visit with some family. So yeah, I think a lot about the fact that Trump has damaged our relationship with our neighbor to the north, as he has with NATO, the EU, with obviously places like Greenland and all the other places he's threatened military action against. Yeah, bothers me. Lucky Phil sent $10 to say, Jake Lang is a bitch, Nazi punks fuck off, W Oskar, staff, YouTube chat mods, and fucking Spider-Man, dude. What a bloody legend. Spider-Man is a fucking legend. Maxine sent $20 to say, y'all are baddies, Raven and Oskar, that is all. Don't forget Jessie. She's it's her day off, but she was definitely there catching the mace. She was during the actual fiasco, she was on the live stream, right? She's the one cameramanning the live stream during the... Was that you?
I was doing the live stream while Jake Lang was
and
causing
that's
trouble.
why I'm mixing it up. Jessie had your phone to film with. Yeah, that's why it's different in the files. Yeah, don't forget Jessie. She was also there fucking taking it on the chin like the rest of us. And Jenny sent $1 to say the police clearly escorting him and putting hands on people pissed me the fuck off. Yeah, you know what? I will say this. I've been shoved by a lot of cops. They weren't as violent with us as they could have been. Fuck them anyway, because they shouldn't have protected those Nazis, but they shoved me very politely.
Two things can be true. They handled the crowd well, and they also protected a Nazi.
Their crowd management wasn't all that problematic. I think that's, yeah, we can...
Also, there's been a lot of questions on if the cops were macing people or if it was just Jake Lang or the protesters. I personally did not see the cops mace anyone ever. Yeah,
I did not see who was macing me every time I got maced, only about half the time. And all of the times that I saw who was macing me, it was one of Jake Lang's cronies. But so yeah, I don't know if any mace was deployed by law enforcement there. I also do know that the counter-protesting crowd, some people had mace in the I'm not going to hide the fact that I definitely saw mace from what I will call our side as well. Because to be clear, definitely some bad behavior from our side. I mean, definitely some assaults committed yesterday. That's unsurprising, and a bunch of it was behavior that I don't condone. But I mean, you know, it's a big crowd, and again, I just say it's a little different when it's an armed, dangerous criminal that the government refuses to fucking apprehend, even though he repeatedly comes to our city and assaults people. Howler sent $5 on YouTube super chat to say, Michael Logan in the YouTube chat is a Nazi sympathizer saying you guys were being violent. Get him in the queue. He won't because he's a bitch. Yeah, hopefully we can get the fucking call-in account working so we can take phone calls from people in the YouTube chat. Working on that. But until then, he can stay a bitch in the YouTube chat. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm in the mood to not take any shit from people who say I'm a bitch. Because I got in Jake Lang's face yesterday while, you know, like being maced a lot. So fuck him. If you're going to call me a bitch, I'm just going to say, nope. I don't think we agree about what a bitch is if you think I'm one, personally. Law of the Wild, do you think I'm a bitch?
In this context, no, absolutely not.
Oh man, what are your thoughts? I'll just hand you the floor, man. What do you think about yesterday?
You know, I think I'm glad nobody got severely hurt. So you know, that's always important on either, because I think that's ultimately what Jake Lang wants. Is he wants to be severely injured or maybe even kirked, so that he can have that type of legacy in his own mind. But I thought that it was a fair exercise of people's First Amendment rights within reason, with some notable exceptions. Sorry, Spider-Man, but you can't go punch somebody in the face. But sometimes people
even if they're orchestrating a riot.
You know, that's a fair
he was charged. Jake Lang was charged with a crime that I think you're allowed to punch somebody if you see them commit. Is that correct?
It's possible. Generally, the law disfavors self-help, so it would have to be you were preventing an offense against you or somebody else, and that would be a good argument to make. I don't know. Spider-Man might hire me, so I might not say too much.
Let's not speak too specifically about Spider-Man, but I will say that right. I think that Spider-Man's behavior was defensible because of what Jake Lang was charged with and doing at the time. I think that very little of the violent behavior from our side will not fall under self-defense, at least for my ethical determination. Obviously, legally, it's going to get hairy.
It's not an insane it's not an insane legal argument either.
The only insane leap was the one that Spider-Man took before he punched Jake Lang in the face, because he'd been in the air for about 10 seconds when he finally got to Jake Lang and connected. It was pretty cool. So hashtag FreeSpiderman is the official Oskar Quentin stance on that one, but we'll see how it works out in courts.
Laws from Minnesota?
What's that? I'm sorry?
Are there fighting word laws in Minnesota?
So it would fall under either terror, T threats, or disorderly conduct, depending on the severity of the words used and the type of reaction it was likely to invoke. But I at least from my passage of it, I did hear some things, but I didn't hear anything that I think rose to the level of a true threat.
Is saying God hates N-words not kind of like unprotected hate speech and considered like aggressive speech?
It's definitely hate speech, but in order for it to be unprotected, it has to be to a level that's likely to invoke imminent lawless action. But the thing is, if there are other reasons that the lawless action was invoked, it's hard to tie it specifically to the speech. So the speech has to be clearly identifiable as speech that would invoke imminent lawless action. And just because a bunch of people don't like it isn't enough to, at least at the criminal level. Again, I'm just speaking within the pure rule of law. I mean, the laws protecting this type of speech go back to, neo-Nazis marching through Jewish towns in Illinois and KKK members talking about unaliving people. So there's very strong protections for objectively abhorrent speech.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, yeah. So does it... I don't actually know the answer to this question. Does the use of the N-word, when it comes to fighting words, does it make a difference to in any legal way if the person that it's being used against is themselves black?
It can,
we don't know, because Spider-Man might have been black, is what I'm saying here. I saw that in the chat. I thought, interesting. What if Spider-Man's black?
I definitely cannot confirm nor deny that I know the identity of Spider-Man.
So everything is fact intensive. So if you're, standing 20 feet away from somebody and yelling, the N-word, and then that causes them to approach you because they don't like the speech or it's personally offensive, that's different than getting up in somebody's face, violating their personal space and screaming the N-word in their face. That's likely to invoke imminent, which is like immediate, like it's happening right this second, lawless action.
What if you do it? What if you do it while riding a vehicle that an accomplice of yours is illegally driving down a sidewalk covered in protesters?
The more facts that support imminency, the stronger the claim is that it's not protected speech. But generally, is if other people have to take time or distance in order to react to your speech, it's not considered imminent.
Okay. Well, we'll see how it all turns out, but hashtag FreeSpiderman is what I think about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna be heading to the bail hearings on Monday morning at the courthouse to try to see all of the show, because pretty much everybody who was arrested, if they're not released by Monday, should have a bail hearing. So it should be interesting to hear what the final charges are going to be and what the allegations, the factual basis for conditions of release are. I'm very curious to see, since Jake Lang is on release and supervised release from multiple jurisdictions, how that's going to weigh into what the county attorney is asking for conditions of release.
I just think that the important thing is that if Jake Lang wants to walk free again in any capacity, he has got some shit to deal with. Because he has the charges from yesterday, and then he has two separate instances where he has violated the terms of release for other serious charges, particularly in Texas, where there are terroristic threats charges for threatening Carmelo Anthony if he didn't get convicted. So I think we got him. I think we're going to put him in a box so he cannot hurt anybody anymore. He's currently in a box, not hurting anybody at the moment. I think he's going to stay in the box, which I will be very angry if we let him out of the box. We need to put him in a box. He's a very dangerous person.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Minnesota is you have to at least have some sort of bail released. The only reason you can hold them for is if they pose a serious danger to an individual or to public safety, or there's an unlikelihood that they're going to return to court. He does make his court dates, so I think the county is going to be leading heavily on a danger to public safety, and even then, they might set a very high bond, but they have to set at least some amount of money. It can't be, doesn't matter if you come up with $1 million. So I've got clients who are being held on murder charges, and their bails are in the millions of dollars. So they'll never be able to afford it, but they have to at least set a number.
Okay. Well, I'll be very interested to learn what the number is.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll keep you posted.
Well, without further ado, other than reading a couple of donations that have come in, I think I'll probably move on to some debates, and we'll see if any of the cowards in the chat, where did that little bitch go? Hold on. Where was he? Da-da-da. Oh yeah, Octavian. Oscar's trying hardest to limit free speech is so laughable. Glad you got peppered. Bitch, get up here. Say that to me with your face. I know you're not gonna, you fucking coward. We're gonna move on to stuff like that in just a moment. Anything else, Law?
Yeah, I think I did just release a video featuring Oskar, by the way, of covering the legal consequences that Jake Lang is looking at. So don't leave Oskar's stream now, but if you want to make a note or give me a follow and go check out that video after the stream, I would appreciate it. It'll run down what kind of jail time he could be looking at.
Thank you, Law. Yeah, I did see that. I did repost it, so you can find it in my reposts, or you can just, go ahead and he disappeared. Get back in the chat, Law of the Wild, so people can click your name, make sure that they're following you. And I'll say thank you, Christine, for the $10 on Venmo. Thank you for all you do. That's all she said. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Lucky Phil sent another $5 on Buy Me a Coffee to say, perks of working for Oskar. Mace in your face. Surely there have to be a stack of charges for everyone who got maced and legal claims for all the victims. There were assaults. There was pain and suffering. May the fuckheads have the day they deserve. Yeah, I'm just very interested to see the legal fallout. I'd love to testify in court because I got maced a shitload for no good reason yesterday. So I'd like to look some people in the eye, like Jake Lang and Jaden Scott, under some slightly different circumstances and tell them what I think about that. Maxine sent another $10 to say, and Jessie, because she forgot Jessie in the previous message. Jessie and Raven were seriously hard motherfuckers yesterday. You guys took that mace with grace, and it's not always easy to do. Good shit yesterday. Rose, of course. Rose sent $5 to say maybe Spider-Man was attacking the truck because it was driving through protesters, trying to get it to stop. That's what I'm saying, I think that Jake Lang got charged with something that suggests that maybe it was acceptable for the public to be attempting to apprehend him. We were trying to yank him off the truck that he was using to barge through a bunch of fucking humans on the sidewalk. Again, people going to tell me, people say that the police shouldn't have apprehended him or done something serious, the driver of that vehicle. I'm just going to say, okay, great. So you definitely don't think that Jonathan Rosse should have shot Renee Good, right? She didn't even have a weapon. It's crazy. She wasn't shoving people with the vehicle. I got shoved with the bumper of that vehicle. I stood right in front of that fucking thing because it was on the goddamn sidewalk. When I catch
them, literally tried to run people over as they drove away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway. All right, let's see if we can keep up with the donations. There's a lot of support coming in. Sorry for the show being bogged down with donations today, but people are showing their support from yesterday, and I gotta honor the messages. It's the rules on here. The City Life Project sent $2 to say thanks for bringing up legal perspective to your show. Dude, fucking W Law of the Wild for bringing legal perspective to my show. That is all him. The fact that he gives me his time of day makes me feel very honored for what I'm doing here on the Oskar Quentin show and the way I'm spending my time out on the streets of Minneapolis. Owl sent $5 to say I'm in the mood to punch Nazis simply because Jake Lang is near me. Spider-Man's thoughts during his time in the air. Oh, what's the tune though? What's the song? Is this a parody? Can you see what the tune is supposed to be, Raven? Maybe let me know. The City Life Project sent another $2 to say beer on me when Quinn Hughes resigns, by the way. Who's Quinn Hughes? Do I know them? Who is that? Do we know?
Not off the top of my head.
Quinn Hughes. Oh, sports thing. I do not follow sports. But Thank you for the beer. And then where else? All right, I think we might actually be ready to start taking some calls. What?
It's resigns, not resigns, by the way. I think I heard you say.
Oh, resigns. Yeah. Gotcha.
That makes more sense being a wild player.
Oh, sure. All right. I think that's everybody. Let's take a look at the request queue and get into some debates, hopefully.
David has been in chat a lot today, saying a lot about you.
David has been being a bitch in chat. So if he wants to come up and discuss which of us is a bigger bitch, he's welcome to do that. DeBlue sent $2 to say the song is I'm in the Mood for Love. Who is that? Maybe I know that. I'd have to listen to it. Damon Salvatore, you are our first caller. Please be a Trump supporter and please be of age. How old are you? Ooh, if they'll connect. Not connecting. Do. Nope. The Jeopardy timer has elapsed. Goodbye. We're going to talk to Nebboo CA. I think I recognize that username, but I can't remember who they are. Trump supporter? Of age?
Not a Trump supporter. Question.
Yeah, what's up?
If the driver was someone named Muhammad driving down a crowded sidewalk.
I'll answer that. How old are you?
50.
Okay. I just got to ask for TikTok TOS. Okay. Yeah. So if the driver was named Muhammad, what was your question?
Driving down a sidewalk in a crowded sidewalk, he'd be called a terrorist. Because it's a white guy. He's escorted by the police.
It does seem that way, yes.
Don't understand it. Don't understand what you did is amazing. Keep up fighting. Keep up the good work. I do have a question, though, as you are a neighbor in Minnesota. If Canada cuts off the oil and the gas and the electricity to the United States till November to make red states suffer, would you be okay with that?
Oh, I need to get educated about our dependence on that energy before I answer. Must remain agnostic. Sorry. I as a Canadian, I would kind of like Canada to bitch slap us a little bit. Whether that's a good mechanism for that, I don't know. I'd have to research. If you want to make a case for it,
that is what I am pushing for right now after the trade deal fell apart.
Send me a message. I want to take that in and come up with a nuanced answer to it, but I'm not going to be able to do it quickly on the air. You should send me a DM on Instagram or somewhere else, but it'll get read fastest on Instagram.
Okay, thanks.
Appreciate you. All right, Octavian. Baby back bitch from the chat is here to talk about something or other. How old are you?
You invited me up.
Yeah, because you were being a baby back bitch in the chat. How old are you?
Well, you're just lying and saying that guy didn't assault them.
How old are you? How old? Okay, 21. You're 21. Cool. Sorry, what am I lying about?
The Spider-Man guy clearly assaulted them.
So we were talking about that with Law. So we were talking about Law of the Wild, how because Jake Lang was charged with inciting a riot, he was already doing that at the time that Spider-Man got to him. So me and Law of the Wild are agnostic as to whether or not this argument works legally. But I think ethically, as somebody who lives in this city that was being attacked by Jake Lang and his fucking cronies yesterday, I don't think it's all that unreasonable.
I saw that.
I don't think it's at all unreasonable to apprehend a person who's doing what Jake Lang was doing yesterday.
Didn't watch your own city's press release afterwards.
AJ, aren't you banned from my show?
They explained.
AJ, you're banned from my show for other fucking reasons. Get off the show. Respect my fucking boundaries, dude. What a bitch. Thank you, fucking Shane, for the $50. I think this is a person I know in person, so I'm not going to read it. What does it say? Let's see. Hold on. Okay, wait. Raven, can you write down that I need to respond to Shane? Thank you very much for the $50, but I won't read out the message. Fax says, thanks for joining today. Faction for Feelings was I was on his live to talk about it today. I'm gonna be doing some live stream hopping. I know some people mentioned that Dean and Parker want to have me on to talk about it, and I obviously am interested in talking about what happened yesterday. That's important to me for having been there. So I will be making the rounds during the 5 hours after the live stream today at 2:00 when it ends in Central Time Zone before the evening show starts at 7 p.m. Where we are having another third-party candidate for governor who also happened to be there yesterday. Tom Evanstad was there yesterday. That motherfucker. He's not the evening show guest tonight. Not again. Look at that. It's one banned disingenuous coward who seems to just come with like a different like shitty set of talking points, but nobody else wants to talk to me. I was fucking there. I spit mace into Jake Lang's eyes and none of the chuds want to fucking talk about it. What an absolute motherfucking shame that all these cowards are too afraid to talk. Oh, and David is about to get a fucking permaban for not taking seriously the fact that the allegations against Dean are obviously bullshit. AI generated fucking fraudulent nonsense, but you know, he too much of a bitch to actually come up here because he doesn't like how profitable it is for me to call him a bitch and then for people to send me money. So he kind of banned himself from the show by being afraid of being on the show because it goes so poorly for him. As you and Graph 52, I don't know how to pronounce this username, but hopefully we'll get a good debate in. How old are you? Ooh, immediately teacupped. Why is that? You connected and then teacupped. What's going on? Hello? No, they're probably pulling up dick pics or something. Let's get rid of them. That's it. Nobody's interested in talking today. I could see myself doing a short show today. If we don't get good debates, if people are fucking afraid to talk to me because they know that like there's no way to call a person a bitch who just like got maced 6 times in a row and didn't stop, we'll do a shorter show and I'll spend the afternoon chasing these bitches around on other people's lives. That might be interesting to me. Did I get... Somebody sent Amanda sent me $25 on Venmo. I'm both sad for and proud of our state. Thank you for representing who we are as Minnesotans. Thank you so much, Amanda. You did send it to the wrong Venmo, but it's okay. I saw the email. It is also my Venmo. It's just a different Venmo. Oskar Quentin, no dash on Venmo, but I do also own the account that has a dash in it, just for safety, so that doesn't happen. But you might not get your message read if you send it to that one, so be careful. But thank you very much for the $25. Will sent $1 to say preemptive dollar train to kick bitch David. Love it. Thank you for that, Will. Thanks for maybe getting that started. We got some people in the chat, so I'll just read through the YouTube super chats really quick. The Blues sent another $2 to say, oh, I already read that one, from the mood of love. I'm in the mood for love. Gotta learn that song. The Blues sent another $5 to say, first time I heard I'm in the mood for love, Alfalfa was singing it in Little Rascals short. I am very old. I'll check it out. All right, back to the multi-guest request queue. Will we have a meaningful, interesting, nuanced, adult debate with Veli 999? Pattern recognition would say probably not, but we'll see. Give him a chance. Give everybody a chance. Everybody gets a chance to be decent on the show. How old are you? Hello? Goodbye. We're going to talk to Cloner. We're going to see if he clones some talking points off of TikTok or Twitter or whatever to try to navigate a conversation. We'll see how it goes. How old are you? Oh, connecting. Teacupped again? Nope. Don't think he's going to connect. Goodbye. Get off my show with your spinning wheel of non-connection. And thank you, David. Cool David. Cool David always shows up on Venmo when bitch David shows up in the chat. $5 to say David went from bitch to coward ass bitch for not stepping in the box and yapping in chat. Yeah, we really downgraded the type of bitch that he is by making him afraid to even be on the show. Hilarious. That's why he's spouting nonsense about Dean in the chat. Dothraki Catboyus, a Game of Thrones fan? Perhaps a Trump fan though. How old are you?
Oh, we've talked before. I'm an anti-war guy. I just wanted to thank you, Jake. My bad, Oscar. I just wanted to thank you real quick because as a Shia Muslim, look, I don't want to lecture too much about my religion, but that Ashura thing that he attacked like 2 months ago in Dearborn, that is one of those things where people like me who don't go to the mosque like 350 days out of the year, that is like a unique. Like that is a funeral commemoration for our third pope. Like it is so egregious what he did. And it's like, I can't go out and get crazy with him because, yeah, like you said, it turns into a race war. So I just wanted to say real quick, I can't appreciate people like you enough.
Thanks, man. I say a lot that like with these instigators who show up and like maybe like we're talking about whether or not Spider-Man's assault charges are going to stick or whatever. But the line I always say is that you can go to funerals and mock the dead until somebody punches you and they will lose their assault case. You will win and you are still the asshole. Ethically, you are still just fucking 100% in the wrong. Fuck that shit. And it's exactly cases like that I'm talking about is that like, oh, did you find a legal loophole to like essentially find the edge of fighting words so that people can step out of line and like get charged for dealing with you? And it's just like, yep, you're still a piece of shit for that. Like you can be legally in the right and a total fucking piece of garbage for it. So when I say that line, that's a talking point of my own that I try to bring up. Go to a funeral, mock the dead, catch a punch, win your assault case, and be a piece of shit. I'm thinking about people like you, thinking about instances like that. So I appreciate the
Thanks
kind words.
again, man. I'll let you move on to someone else.
Thanks so much. Hey, it might just be me getting my flowers for being being a member of the Minneapolis protest community yesterday. Because, like I said, I think the Chuds are the Chuds afraid of my skinny ass? Maybe. They all said I would be a bitch on the streets. In fact, because we haven't even had anybody challenge it yet, I am actually just gonna pop up my Instagram real quick. Let's have a peek at my Instagram. Somebody made a fan edit. I'll read out their username because it's on the video here, but let's just have a look see at how I spent yesterday. Ooh, wait. Let's turn the volume on.
Your city, stand the fuck up.
I'm not interested in no. Became. There we go.
The Nazis come to your city, stand the fuck up. This shit's only gonna hurt for a little while, but it's gonna hurt for a long time if we keep letting law enforcement protect these fucks. Protect your fucking city from Nazis. The Nazis.
Anyway, I like the fan edit. Thank you, a.girl.has.no.name42. That's a TikTok account if you want to go give her some flowers for making that for me. Fan edits are cool. Shows how I spent my fucking Saturday, guys. I missed it. I missed being out there facing up with Nazis. It's way more fun to yell at them in person than it is through the little coward application that they use to hide their faces and shit and make sure that they don't have to deal with like the intimidating presence that a person who's mad at you for oppression of people in the country has. So, way more fun to do it in person. It's projection when they say that I'd be a coward in person. It's because they're imagining doing it in person and they think, oh, how cowardly I'd behave under such circumstances. I bet that's the way Oskar would behave. But they don't fucking know me. So, anyway, the crew to do tiempo.
Lucky Phil also brought up the cool edit with the guitar.
Oh, wait, yeah, let's look at that one really quick. I got a collab on that one. I immediately messaged that dude. I was like, fucking sick. Where was it? Back here, all right. Oh, yeah. Let's get this open again.
Nazis come to your city. Stand the fuck up. This shit's only gonna hurt for a little while. It's gonna hurt for a long time if we keep letting law enforcement protect these fucks. Protect your fucking city from Nazis.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to, who was that? That was Zero Dude, Zeru Dude, all one word on Instagram. He's also on some other platforms, but I don't know if we collabed or got tagged or whatever. Send him some love for that. Yeah, we're gonna probably try to watch some of the footage today. Thank you for the galaxy, Arthur. Just because I don't know, people. I think we're gonna have to show it to the Chuds, or they're not gonna believe me. But it's always a fun game watching footage with Chuds because they just see something different in it than happened in it, and then answer as though that's what happened. So we'll see what they think actually happened in some of this footage. Jackson sent $25 on Venmo to say thanks for standing on business, and then Venmo cut the rest of his message off, so I'll reload it. Thank you, Jackson. And who sent the hat? Is that Arthur? Who sent a cat? Mr. Incognito, thank you for that. All right, the rest of Jackson's message. He said, thanks for standing on business. Why doesn't the police let him get consequences for his words, then arrest the people who assaulted him? My dad was an officer for 30 years, so I get they're trying to keep the peace, but it makes them look like they were just defending Nazis. I'm just saying they should have apprehended these fucks immediately instead of letting them escape. Like the fact that they trusted them not to run people over with that vehicle all the way to the end of the block. That's just not how it's supposed to go if you drive on the sidewalk when there's a demonstration happening. Frankly, I think it's a reasonable situation for the police officers to use force. We talk so much about what an appropriate situation for using force is. And yeah. Anyway, we talked about that with Law of the Wild already. All right, we've got some more people in the queue. We've got the crew to do tiempo. I don't think I've seen that username before. Perhaps a new caller with a new perspective on politics. How old are you? Always try to time it right, but they didn't connect. Get the phone out your pocket. The crew to do tiempo. Please. Hello. Nope, goodbye. Not connecting. Gave him more of a chance than he deserved. Let's talk to Carl. Let's see. Hello, Carl. How old are you?
Hi, hello.
How old are you?
I'm 47 years old.
Okay, are you a Trump supporter?
Yes.
Why on earth?
Iran has been a serious thorn in our sides for a very long time.
I can already hear you having a hard time keeping up the character. Do you want to drop the act and just talk to me however it is you actually sound?
What do you mean?
I don't quite believe you. I'm sorry.
What do you mean you don't believe me?
I just don't believe that that's like you already sound exhausted by doing this bit. I think it's satire. I don't think this is a serious conversation.
No, listen. Why don't you talk to me like man to man, and we can discuss this in the parking lot outside of Arby's.
Yeah. All right. Why do you support Trump?
Okay. So basically, what I was trying to get to was, Trump is a hero.
I don't think he is a hero. I think he's a cowardly bastard.
Why do you think he's a coward?
Why do I think he's a coward? Because he gets his feelings hurt by people yelling that he protects pedophiles, even though he obviously does. That's cowardly.
Donald Trump doesn't protect pedophiles.
He absolutely does, including himself.
What do you mean, Carl?
So what evidence do you have that Donald Trump is a pedophile?
With minors the other day.
See, look at it. It's exhausting.
Who is that? Is that Meatwad?
Yeah.
No,
what do you mean, Carl? Of course it's me.
I'm not hearing anything.
Is that Meatwad?
The voice is
Meatwad,
coming.
what are you doing here?
The voice is coming from inside your head.
Meatwad, what are you doing here?
Well,
what are you doing here, Meatwad?
I was trying to
You're not supposed to be here.
I was trying to swim in your pool.
You're trying to swim in my pool. You know I don't open my pool until spring. Spring's when my pool opens. Sorry, I got a little bit Russian there for a second.
Yeah, because it's hard to keep up consistency
I know,
when you're doing a stupid bit. It's a little bit hard to keep on like a fake accent, but that's what being a real G is all about. Well, so I guess you're not a real G then.
What do you mean?
Well, because you're not doing a very good job of keeping up the accent.
Right. Well, if I can't keep up the accent 100% of the time, right? You've gotta understand something, right? I don't have a lot of luck with women.
I know, Carl. It's the wrong show for that, though. Call into the Savage Love cast. She's still doing that? I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, Owl, for the $10. It's almost like Oskar shows that he actually does what he says, and MAGA can't handle talking to him today. Weird. Like they're used to being lied to and cool with it. Yeah. They're just going to cover their ears and hide under the desk until the news cycle blows over, and then they're going to call back in and think that I forgot that they said I was cowardly the previous time they were on the show. That sticks in my memory. Sometimes I have a hard time remembering callers, but... I don't know, man. Maybe I got a little bit of that Marty McFly in me. Call me a chicken. I think, that's just so false. I might just have to address it. Kat sent $20. Thank you for the $20 on YouTube Super Chat. Thanks for standing up to the racist and misread it. Thanks for standing up to that racist nonsense. Glad everyone's all right after getting maced. Seriously, though, y'all wear some masks or at least some eye protection next time. Stay safe out there and keep it up. I will say part of what I'm doing is like really social and performative, where it's like I wanted to make eye contact with him and yell in his face because... I don't know if you've ever been yelled at by a crowd of people. It's really unpleasant. It kind of serves part of the purpose of what we're doing. So I could just put on a big gas mask and not be heard or seen, but it's about being heard and seen. If he wants to take away my rights by fucking macing me, I'm going to fucking eat it, because I'd rather get maced than hide behind a mask when trying to exercise my First Amendment right and say that Jake Lang is a bitch who's probably going to die in federal prison, because the odds of the number of administrations that would need to protect him all the way to the fucking end of his life, all protecting him until the end of his life, I think are low, which is why I think that Jake Lang will die in federal prison. Anyway, I'm so glad.
Mention, how hard did it look that Oskar was just spraying tear gas back at him unbothered?
I spit mace into Jake Lang's eyes, called him a bitch, and told him that he would die in federal prison.
On accident. Although we did forget to say the line.
I did tell him that when he goes to federal prison, he's going to get his skull holes butt fucked.
His shank holes.
Yeah, I mixed it up. I said that in federal prison they're gonna butt fuck his skull holes. He didn't like me saying that. But we did check with legally protected speech. I am allowed to say that that's going to happen to him when he goes to federal prison, as long as I'm not going to do it, which I don't want to. But I did tell Jake Lang to his face that when he goes to federal prison, if he doesn't get executed for treason, then he will go to federal prison where they will butt fuck his skull holes. Because the first cloud of mist, like when I got hit really bad and I just kept powering through the mace, I was like, oh, sweet, everybody ran away. He's going to fucking hear me if I yell. So I started yelling at him. He turns and looks at me, and there's this look, and like, it was the same thing with ICE agents, where like you're in a big crowd and you yell something, and then the ICE agent hears you and looks at you, and you can see that the look on their face is this disappointment in themselves because they've realized like, oh, fuck, I just told him that I heard him. And he saw the look on my face when I took in what he said. Like, that's what I got my fucking salt doing with ICE agents, which like ICE agents, Jake Lang, fucking, same bitch, different job title. Yeah, I had a fun time talking to Jake Lang yesterday. He is even smaller in person. That little baby Nazi bitch. We're gonna talk to Zach. We're gonna see if he thinks that Jake Lang is a baby bitch or not. Zach, how old are you? He ran. He probably thought that Jake Lang was super cool, and he thought, you know what, maybe not Oskar. Maybe Oskar's not the guy for me to talk to about this. Kelly sent $5 on Venmo to say, seeing you actually rage rather than the way you choose to perform sometimes during certain guests was and then like the nail polish emoji. Love, Zilla. Thank you very much. Well, it is like all performative, you know, like when I crash out on the show, I like doing that gag where I'll be like really yelling and elevated, and then I'll be like, by the way, thank you very much for the $5 so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. Like I'll just like snap out of it for a second to remind everybody that it is a performance and I'm in control. And it's the same thing yesterday, you know, like I can like be at the front lines raging, turn around, like throw some fucking water in my eyes so I can still see, and then get right back into it. Because it is just about being in control of yourself and still maintaining good situational awareness. That's really important, and making good decisions about where to put your body, because there are a lot of places where putting your body can put you in a lot of danger. So if you need to like shut down and close your eyes for a second to like squeeze some of the mace out, you need to like do that not in the path of a vehicle, for example. Like there's like, it's hard to remember to do that stuff when you're in the middle of these chaotic situations. But I had plenty of practice throughout Metro Surge dealing with fucking tear gas and mace flying everywhere, getting shot with pepper balls, getting shot with fucking beanbag round. I'm so glad that time I got shot in the leg with a beanbag round out of a shotgun. That happened on January 24th, right after Alex Preddy was murdered on Nicollet Avenue. I was there right after, and I got shot by I think it was a sheriff's deputy. I'm not even sure. I'm very glad I kept running. I don't know what would have happened to me if I like, I mean, maybe I would have finally gotten arrested. But yeah, it's just, it takes a little bit of experience to just like fight through it all, and keep doing what you're there to do. Did I read Christina? Sorry, I'm getting lost today. I am running on like no sleep because I was, my skin was all on fire all night. So I was like drinking beer on Law of the Wilds live at like 2 a.m. I was like schwasty bitching about Jake Lang trying to go to sleep. Late night TikTok Oscar is a creature that comes out sometimes. We ought to do some late night debates. We should do like that'd
be fun.
We should do like a 10 to 2 on the other side of the clock night. Like we should like maybe try to fit that in once every couple of weeks or something. Get like, you know, or get like a random Friday night 10 o'clock to 2 a.m. on Saturday type of night, because those are interesting calls. Christina sent me $5 to say, for calling Jake Lang a little bitch right to his stupid fucking face. I hope you've recovered today and everyone's feeling safe today. I'm feeling great. Honestly, I'm just very elated that yesterday went the way that we wanted it to. He got charged with some serious shit. He violated the conditions of release for 2 other very serious charges, felonies. So I don't think he's going to walk free. And I wanted that motherfucker to be put in a box. And I don't care. There's not enough mace on planet Earth that you could spend the rest of my life pouring into my eyes for me not to consider it a win if the result of that is Jake Lang being put in a fucking box so he can't keep fucking assaulting people. Tina, thank you very much for your amazing gift. I just fucking mace me every day for the rest of my life. I don't fucking care. That guy's gonna fucking hurt somebody. Get him the fuck out of here. And I think we may have accomplished that yesterday. And I think we made him look like a little baby bitch while we did it, which was also kind of a side quest for the day. So thank you, Infexus, for the $10 in Cash App. Fuck Nazis is the only message on that one. Thank you, Infexus Bites. Over on Buy Me a Coffee, Lucky Phil sent $2 to say, Lang's going to have a fun time in prison unless they keep him in isolation the whole time. Maybe they fucking should, right? Like, because like I said, if they don't, somebody's going to butt fuck his skull holes while he's in federal prison. And I'll just be okay with that. We got Matt here. Matt, you're not going to believe this. You there, Matt?
What happened?
Not one of these chuds has come up to doubt anything about me. They are afraid of me because I faced their loser king, Jake Lang. They calling me a bitch in the comments. They calling me a bitch in the messages. They're sending me death threats, but they won't come talk to me about it. What do you think about that, Matt?
I think it's pretty funny that MAGA's so scared of you that they won't even come up and have a conversation with you.
I think that Jake Lang is scared of me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Jake Lang is scared of his own shadow, like, to be honest with you.
I mean, like, at the end of the day, I will point out that he does put himself in some pretty dangerous situations. And I can call that some kind of bravery. But I do just enjoy how quickly it becomes cowardice, you know? Like watching him curl up in the fetal position because I misted some mace into his eyeballs while screaming at him.
Is it bravery or is it hubris?
It might be hubris. He might show up thinking that he's going to get a lot of support, and like he deludes himself into thinking there's going to be a bunch of like Klansmen there to protect him or something. Which I guess there was, but they were wearing blue instead of white. Once he actually gets face to face with people like me who are fucking mad about what people like him are promoting happening to our city and to our country and to the state of Minnesota generally, he a bitch. He a bitch. Met him in person yesterday. My conclusion: he a bitch.
Honestly, what did he think was going to happen in this situation? He's going to a city that's been dealing with so much shit from this administration, that's outraged, and then he gets there and he gets his ass kicked. Like, he really didn't. He should have thought this out a little bit more, honestly.
Thank you, David, on Venmo for the $5 more. That's cool, David. Not bitch, David, on Venmo. Any luck getting footage with the body cam I wore? I haven't checked. It kept wanting to restart on me. I'm not sure if it was rolling when I sprinted. I doubt it was still mounted because when I saw Jake Lang, I was pretty far down the block. I was on the wrong side of the street, wrong end of the block, and the street was separated from the sidewalk on both sides by bike rack barricades. So as soon as I had eyes on him, I start fucking running, and I'm just hurdling one, run across the street, hurdle the other, and I just jumped right up there, went through the first cloud of mist, and got the fuck in there. I have no idea. I will, during the break today in the show, walk back to my apartment because I forgot the body cam there. It's in my bag from yesterday. So I will find out about the body cam footage. But we still haven't even posted all the clips that we're posting from the devices. So if you're following on Instagram and Facebook and stuff, there's still going to be more churning out throughout today and tomorrow, at least probably. So more to fucking come. Me aside, Matt, what'd you think of the whole show?
I haven't got to watch the entire thing of what happened with Jake Lang, but I just think that you've gotten some of the craziest people up here. You've gotten some good, you've gotten some bad. I think that you're doing some amazing work out here. You're doing great for your community, so it's really cool to be able to see how much your platform has been able to grow with spreading the message that you've been able to. So it's amazing to see, and super happy for you.
Yeah, I appreciate all the support. I'm going to be saying this on repeat as this kind of churns through the news cycle, but I have, for the whole time that I've been a debate host, I have straddled two worlds, the in-person activation space, us Minneapolis activists that, kept our eyes on ICE during Metro Surge and have protested out at the Whipple building. There's that whole community of people. And then there's the whole debate community, this whole TikTok space or YouTube or, just where people do discourse. And I sit in the middle of the Venn diagram and there's some disagreements about, between these two groups of people about how certain things should be handled in terms of the public discourse or whether or not it's appropriate to platform people. A lot of activists don't think it's okay to platform Nazis. So they see me do it and they're like, okay, maybe there's an appropriate way to platform Nazis. And I kind of try to extend the olive branch either from the debate community to the protesting community or vice versa. And I'm just more than anything insanely proud that I've been able to use the platform that I now have in the debate community by having some success here to get a spotlight on what happened in Minnesota yesterday, because it's not going to get talked about nearly enough on mainstream media. The fact that we don't see appropriate charges for this type of behavior. I mean, they had federal charges for the people who fought Savannah Hernandez a few months ago at the Whipple building. But we'll see. Are there going to be federal charges against Jake Lang for what he did yesterday? Probably fucking not. So when you say that to me, Matt, it means that I'm serving one of the mission statements of this show very well, which is to extend the bridge between the protest community and the discourse, the online discourse community. So I'm really glad to be able to be doing that. It makes me very happy.
Yeah, of course. And you're doing some great work. And I think one thing that you said is really important too. In this space, it is so difficult to know, if it's worth even bringing someone up for a conversation, sometimes or letting them on your platform. And sometimes I think that it might be because it's important to let your audience know that these people do exist out there in the world. And they are going to have these beliefs, whether you platform them or someone else does or nobody does, they're still going to exist. So sometimes exposing it, and not necessarily I wouldn't necessarily use the word platforming all the time, but I would say sometimes showing people, kind of more exposing than platforming it, I think is more probably the right word. But
I just think that I think that along with platforming bigotry and hate, you need to editorialize. You need to give your opinion on it. So I really hated seeing Jake Lang in Dearborn have Fox News, the local Fox station in Dearborn, Michigan, sent a fucking black woman to report on Jake Lang. She had to like politely stand there and fucking like deal with him. And they didn't say like, hey, by the way, this is a hateful Nazi who was like, pardoned for J6. They just said like, oh, this is Jake Lang who's throwing a free speech rally. Mr. Jake Lang, what do you have to say? And then he's like screaming his white crusader shit like directly into the living rooms of people who watch the local news in Dearborn without Fox News like putting any context around like who this is and what his fucking problem is. Like that's fucking horrible. But if I can put a spotlight on Jake Lang where when people see it, they're like, what a little baby bitch that is. He belongs in prison. I think that does the world some good.
Exactly. Like when it's on your platform and you know who this person is, it's very important for you to be able to control the narrative and to drive what it actually is. If you're not showing them for who they are when they're on the platform, that's when there, I think, is an issue with a lot of the people in the debate space and a lot of people in this TikTok space. And I think that the most important thing is always, if you're going to have someone up who, or put a little bit of light on someone who has a little bit more of a problematic nature, problematic's putting it lightly, let's be honest. But if someone has that kind of a nature, make sure that it is known, make sure what they have done is known, and really drive it home. Otherwise, I think that, for example, as that reporter did, like not talking about who he actually was, I think that kind of does a disservice.
Absolutely. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. There's certain hateful characters who permeate the debate space, people like RC or Popcorn or whoever. And my thing about platforming them is that they know what they're doing and they are intentionally trying to weaponize the incompetence of certain hosts to platform their hate in a very billboard style of way. And I accuse them of that on the air and I deal with it in a very direct sort of way. And I have to step on their toes so aggressively to not allow them to be successful at billboarding their hate in that way. And that's something a little bit different than just like talking it out with somebody who maybe has some bigoted beliefs. That's like a very, very different thing. And I will just say, you're playing with fire when you platform that sort of person. So when people will message me and be like, you're not allowed to platform RC. That's bad. And my answer to it is, I am skilled enough to platform RC. Go fuck yourself. And I'll just say, not everybody is. He's a fucking tough cookie. He is currently banned from my show simply for being repetitive and non-productive. Like they just do it. Everything I just described, he just does it on repeat, and I'm running out of ways to shoot him down because he's got no new talking points for me. So he's just like banned for constantly attempting to platform hate without any productive dialogue. But I gave him a fucking chance. I let him run through all of his fucking talking points. So it is controversial, but if we let the Nazis platform themselves, they tend to get elected president. So I think we need to put a little bit of a spotlight on it. Derek, I was about to click you in the queue. Derek was there yesterday. Derek, definitely hop back in the queue if you want to come up and talk a little bit about it. Yeah, here we go. This is not Dr. Dankenstein. That's a different Derek. This is Derek, the activist, who a lot of people will recognize his voice, or if you saw his fan that he brings to protests, you might recognize that. But get following Derek if you're not. How you doing, Derek?
Okay.
How are your eyes doing?
Better.
Yeah. I know you got God. Was it bad?
The first time I was in front of the first time was from Jake Lang or his security. And then the last one was when somebody took us Tom and then went in my face.
I think we got him, Derek. I think he's gonna stay in jail this time.
Yeah, because I heard because he has probation in DC.
Well, he also had conditions of release in Texas and then also here in Ramsey County for destroying that ice sculpture, which is hilarious. But yeah, he's in a whole fucking mess of trouble. I think he's going to stay incarcerated this time. He's in jail right now. I think they're going to have to transfer him around a lot because he's in trouble in a lot of places now.
And then I heard Spider-Man is out yesterday.
Is Spider-Man out?
There's controversy to see who's the person from the mug. Because there's one person from the thing that's from our state, and because there was a Spider-Man in Dearborn, and this person lives somewhere in the Midwest, but I don't know if it's that person, but someone else thinks it's some other person, but I don't know which one.
Yeah. I'm not gonna participate in any wishy-washy efforts to identify him. Yeah. He'll probably be charged, so we'll probably figure out who Spider-Man is in due time. But I'm definitely waiting for that.
Jake Lang and them dig it out.
Yeah, I don't think they. I mean, I was talking to Law of the Wild this morning, and he says that they have to put some kind of bail number, so like he will have bail.
They have to the judge tomorrow.
Yeah,
And
but
then one of our community members, I don't know if you were there when one of our community members got arrested at the end.
I did see that, yeah.
I was there because when we went down the street, there was 2 SWAT cars.
Yeah.
Me and him and this other person went down, and some SWAT car turned around.
Cass has pointed out something very obvious in the chat. Clearly, you can tell by the body shape that it was very obviously Benjamin Netanyahu in a Spider-Man outfit. Clearly. Clearly. I did not get to talk with Spider-Man. Raven, did you talk to Spider-Man?
I did, actually, before everything popped off.
Is there like a brief interview with Spider-Man on the live stream yesterday?
Extremely brief.
Okay, yeah.
It was during when the speakers were speaking. I kind of just turned around. Spider-Man was right there. I said, Spider-Man, you got any words for today? And he said, Black Lives Matter and Black Dads Matter. And then ran off.
Brielle sent $5 on, what is this, Cash App to say one of my favorite American patriots. Fuck Jake Lang with a cinema emoji. There was some cinematic shit happened outside of City Hall yesterday. There's some crazy footage that came out.
We want people to know that we want the mayor to resign from yesterday.
I mean, I think the Minneapolis is going to continue to have problems with the executive authority here in Minneapolis, given that the police defended a Nazi
on
yesterday.
a sidewalk.
As he drove down a sidewalk, macing people. Did you got once, or were you just like in it for a long time? Because like I got maced like a whole bunch of times. I helped you clean out.
I was at the beginning. I think I got maced when they first did the security guy did it. And then the second time, I think I just got the extra stuff in my eyes after. Or then the third time was when someone did it to Tom. I was like, wow.
There got to be a point where it was just like a cloud of mace that we were all just like hanging out in. It was crazy. But you're doing good today. Have you had your misery shower today yet?
I went to the pool yesterday. I jumped in.
You went to the pool after getting maced?
I jumped in, yeah.
How was that?
Oh, it felt good.
Maybe the chlorine or other chemicals neutralizes it.
Fucking life pro tip, maybe? I don't know.
Don't take this advice.
Don't. Yeah.
Wouldn't that spread it around? Like that, I feel like that would make it worse.
Maybe it would dilute it enough.
I don't know.
I never been maced really before, so. So that was.
Yeah.
You hadn't been gotten. You made it all the way through Metro Surge without getting maced.
Yeah, so did I though.
Holy shit!
Because
really?
I moved. Oh no, I did get it when they were at the gate 1 at the beginning. But I was in the back, but it came to me after.
I hadn't been maced directly like this. Like
the first time?
Like during Metro Surge, like during this Trump administration. I've been maced early, like other times in my life when I was younger, directly. But I've caught in like whiffs of mace, or where you get like misted by mace. Like that's happened a lot to me through Metro Surge. So I like knew the different flavors of mace that are floating around in the air.
But that's not the same thing as mace.
Well, there's like different kinds. There's like bear spray, and then like crowd mace, and then like pepper spray is generally like a smaller like personal defense type of.
Whatever Jake Lang had, which I think was bear mace, that was potent.
Whatever they sprayed us with yesterday.
That has too.
Whatever they were spraying us with yesterday is more potent than the stuff that girls carry around in their purses. That's for sure. Because that stuff's kind of weak sauce. Yeah. Very, very strong. Carl wants to talk.
I'm gonna get down. I'm about to go to the pool.
Love you, buddy. I'll talk to you later.
I love you all. See ya.
Hey, Derek, and also just really quick for Derek, saline solution. If it was like the concentration of a saline solution, that would help. If it was just pepper spray, but like, don't jump in a saltwater pool. Don't jump in a chlorine pool if you do get pepper sprayed. It's not good for you.
Christina is asking for $1 on Venmo. Who sprayed the mace? And best we can tell, it was Jake Lang's people. Not him personally. He was like just up there like holding a flag and shit, orchestrating the riot that he's being charged with.
I will say there's the age-old question of who shot first, Han Solo style, and that answer, I do believe it was our side.
Yeah, I saw that there was somebody on the left side of the truck who maybe had
aimed up at Jake, sprayed, and then his security came out and started just.
Yeah, I just say, like, for me it makes such a difference. If that happened on the street, I'd be like, dude, don't send the first blow. That's not how we do this. But he was already fucking driving on the sidewalk. I mean, it wasn't him driving, but he's standing in the fucking pickup truck bed riding a vehicle that's driving down a sidewalk, right? Like, if I was innocently riding in a truck bed and my buddy drove up on the sidewalk, I would jump out. He was going 1 mile an hour. He's crawling, bumping into protesters and shit. Like, I wouldn't stand for that, you know? Like, I wouldn't... Yeah,
I want to partake in this.
Yeah, so to be clear, my position on this is that it made a big fucking difference that he drove a vehicle onto a crowded sidewalk. If Jonathan Rosse can, if you think that Jonathan Rosse can shoot Renee Good in the face for like moving a vehicle in his direction for like half a second while pulling around him while he stepped out of the way and then he shot her in the face anyway, if you think that's allowed, then this is allowed. Then attacking Jake Lang was allowed yesterday. There's no way around that. It's the same thing I've been saying about if you believe these bullshit Dean Withers accusations, then you don't have a word to say to me about fucking E. Jean Carroll because she had a unanimous jury of 9 and a fucking civil litigation in a goddamn courtroom. Never mind some bullshit fucking screenshots. So I'll say the same thing. If that's your standard for self-defense or use of force, we're gonna fucking compare yesterday to Alex Preddy or Renee Good or whoever else.
I mean, it's just really obvious that every single time that something like this happens, that we could kind of flip into their perspective. The outrage is always performative with MAGA, and there's no denying it with the Dean Withers situation, like you said, with the with this Jake Lang situation. We have a lot of other examples too. Those are just 2 recent ones, but every single time that they open their mouths and cry about something, we can just show them like, hey, you should have gotten out of this situation as well.
Yeah, they are little wusses about it when there are transgressions of their freedom of speech. But they're going to tell me, I mean, I was expecting people to call in and tell me I was a bitch about yesterday. They're fucking afraid to. We're going to see if Mr. Wiggles is maybe going to have an opinion about yesterday. But I don't know, man. People are singing a different tune today, it would seem. How old are you, Mr. Wiggles?
Hey, what's up? I'm 65. No, I'm not a Trumper. Just real quick, I just scrolled off of this Jake Lang video, and then when I jumped on you, I heard you mention something about, I know you say you in Wisconsin, and I heard you say something about your camera, so I was a little confused, but I'm assuming y'all talking about him getting arrested in Michigan. And
it was Minnesota yesterday.
I mean,
he was
Dearborn. Right, Dearborn.
Dearborn was a few days ago. A bunch of people were arrested, not him. He came to Minnesota yesterday, which is where I live. So I was face to face with Jake Lang yesterday.
And that's why I said I was mixed. I was confused because I seen it said Dearborn for the second time, and then I kind of went through the video, and he had an ankle monitor and mushrooms, which I'm assuming considered drugs. But then I heard you say you had to hurry up and run to your apartment. I know you in Minnesota, so I'm like, hold on. Now I see Minnesota, and then I see Dearborn. So he's bouncing back and forth. Then I ain't seen the thing in Minnesota, so I was just trying to catch up on what you was talking about. But anyway, I just had sent you. I was in a text. I sent you the TikTok. I just sent through the message. I ain't all that good on here. I sent you the message. If you look in your message right now, you'll see it from Mr. Wiggles. The video, it says Dearborn twice, but I haven't seen Minnesota. And so, yeah.
I see the request. I'll check it out. But yeah, he was in Dearborn on the 18th and in Minnesota yesterday on the 22nd. And yesterday was way more chaotic than Dearborn. But he was here. But in Dearborn, he had a longer demonstration where the police were just able to protect him and separate him from the crowd, and things didn't escalate as much. But yesterday, he and his buddies drove a fucking vehicle on the sidewalk. It was crazy.
And they ain't do nothing about it. He's shooting to be the next Charlie Kirk, I guess. I'm assuming
we all think that he wants to be the next Charlie Kirk. It does seem that way. So I am glad that he's alive to face consequences for the things that he's done, because he has done some bad things.
Hopefully they arrest him and make an example of him, because it's a shame.
He's in custody.
They got all of these idiots running around here believing in this stupid president they voted for, and all this racism and red and blue and whatever their reasons is. And it's crazy though, but I don't want to take up. I know you shooting that, and you of course you see me back and forth. I scroll in these lives back and forth, and I come in yours and I listen. You got a good live, and along with a lot of other ones. So I just wanted to, like I said, I just chimed in there, and I was just trying to get abreast on it. But go ahead and keep doing your thing, and don't stop, which I know you ain't gonna stop because you're a real soldier. Appreciate you though, Oscar.
W's in the chat for Mr. Wiggles. I appreciate you very much. I saw a bunch of people asking in the chat, like they're trying to figure out if they saw me yesterday. So like, let's find some footage of me from yesterday.
The Spider-Man one has a good shot of you right behind it.
Yeah. Well, hold on, let's get the volume turned down a little bit. Yeah, so look for this shirt if you're trying to find footage of me there yesterday. I made sure to wear my most recognizable shirt from the streams. It's the one that says Duluth, Minnesota on the front. It has the paddle X on the back.
Also, a good important note here is we have 2 forms of audio in this video. So Jessie, you can see in front of you, but she's not actually the one recording, but she does have a mic. So that's why the audio is really weird.
Oh yeah. So we've got overlapping audio. This is Andrew Mercado. This is Jaden Scott holding the cross, and then we're just gonna maybe risk it on the flag with the sign.
Oscar just got maced. Oscar just got maced.
So that's how yesterday went. It was me and Spider-Man and Andrew Mercado facing up to the Nazis in Minneapolis. Fucking craziness. Little exciting.
Can't believe Peter Parker got out of Queens. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, New York. I'm a New Yorker myself. We had the New York game representing in Minnesota yesterday. But yeah, if you find really cool footage of me, fucking send it to me. I am looking for footage of me hopping over the bike rack barricades because I'm trying to. Hopefully, we'll be able to put together like a video that shows like the story of me for those 10 minutes, or because there's like lots of camera angles of like all the different times I like backed out for a second, got my eyes washed out, and then went right back to the front. And I had like Jessie there with like water holding my glasses while I'm like yelling at the cops through the mace that I'm just like oozing out of my nose and mouth and eyes. Definitely misted some cops in the eyes with mace by yelling at them. Fucking oops. They should have worn goggles on accident. Oopsie daisy. Lucky Phil sent $2 to say, you have successfully infected all my algorithms. I'm sick of the sight of you. Thank you, dude. It is like fun where like my friends will be like, yo, Oscar, like every video on my feed, you're in it being fucking crazy. And I'm like, well, you know, I made sure to make myself known yesterday. And it was me and Andrew Mercado shoulder to shoulder fucking cursing out Jaden Scott and Jake Lang, like what a fucking moment, because I live to get face to face with these fucking cowards. Like people sit here and tell me all day I'm a fucking 100-pound soaking wet bitch, which like, look, first of all, is false. I've had so many people message and they're like, hey, you're kind of tall. And I'm like, yeah, a lot bigger in person than on camera. First of all, I'm not a tiny dude, but I'm also loud, and that matters a lot more at these sorts of things, because I'm not there to throw punches. You know, I'm not there to like fight the guy, but I'm there to make him look small. And yeah, he next to me and Andrew Mercado, I think that those cowards look pretty fucking small in their adorable little Honda Ridgeline. How are you gonna be an American? How are you gonna say you a patriot? How are you gonna put 1776 in your fucking Instagram handle and drive a truck down the fucking sidewalk that isn't even a fucking American truck? Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking goobers, get your fucking dog whistles right and drive a goddamn Ford if you're gonna call yourself a fucking patriot. Maybe they don't want to off-put the Chevy guys, but you drove a fucking Honda? I like me a Honda, but I still know you a bitch for that, Jake Lang. Holy shit.
Also, what was up with that? It was almost like he had a police escort in every single one of these videos, and it's like he's driving on like sidewalk where people are supposed to be able to just be walking around, and the police are just around the vehicle keeping you guys at bay while not actually taking care of the guy who was violating the law driving on the sidewalk. It doesn't make sense.
Me washing my eyes out.
The official statement from MPD apparently was that they were trying to protect protesters from being ran over by Jake. That's why they were shoving us with their bikes.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what happened.
Bullshit.
Yeah, you can totally tell that they're trying to protect you guys and not Jake. That's That's the official story. Let's go. That's crazy.
Right. They even like flipped us off at some points and stuff. Definitely on our side.
So honestly, like they always use the exact same excuse. When we had the initial ICE out of LA protests, when we had the No Kings protests, exact same story here. It's always the same story with the police.
We're beating you for your protection.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Dude, when you're getting the saline solution down your face like that, there's this thing that happens where like your senses kind of get blurry for a second, and then your brain detects that there's water falling over your mouth, and then you go to inhale, and your brain does this thing where it turns off your diaphragm. It's like, nope, you're underwater. I'm getting a little waterboarded in this video that we were just looking at, because like your brain, like it's so weird to go to try to inhale and have your body just like, nope. It's like it's as though you just got shot in the spine and you're trying to move your legs. Like your brain just won't let you inhale, which is a really scary sensation. And then you have to sit there because you're like getting washed, so you have to just sit and be like, all right, I'm gonna get waterboarded for like another 20 seconds. But like I won't die in that time. You just have to convince yourself you'll be okay if you sit there not breathing while your face hurts.
I do think we have some opposition in the queue, by the way.
Oh, maybe the video's got him in here. How fantastic! You want to stick around for some debates, Matt?
Yeah, let's do it.
WEP2 is our next caller. Is he going to give us a debate? It's been an hour and 40 minutes, and ain't nobody been brave enough to come up here and call me a bitch. I think it's because I'm not a bitch. We'll see if WEP2 thinks that Jake Lang is cool. I want one person to come up here and tell me they think that Jake Lang is cool so I can have a word with them. Hasn't happened today. How old are you?
My bad. I meant to join because of the Jake Lang is even smaller face-to-face. But that was already answered. So sorry, I forgot to get out of queue.
Oh, no worries. Yeah. We got a Jake Lang prompt today because I met him yesterday, and it is my conclusion that he sucks. I already thought he sucks, but I definitely confirmed that he sucks when I got to see him yesterday. E.T. Rosse, hello. How old are you?
Hey, 30.
Are you a Trump supporter?
Sure, why not?
I think there's lots of answers to the question.
Can we
why
just
not?
get to the meat and potatoes of the debate?
Fucking all right. What are we talking about, dude?
Yeah, your political positions are purely sentimental and have no bearing on actual reality, and actually are just furthering the exact same things you pretend to criticize, to be honest.
Okay, explain yourself. I think that's nonsense.
All right, so you're like a progressive liberal, right?
I straddle the boundary between liberal and leftist so well that the liberals are mad that I'm a leftist and the leftists are mad that I'm a liberal. I think it's a little more nuanced.
Yeah. Okay. So, what do you think is the primary contradiction in society? What are you aiming to solve here?
Disparities in wealth and protection under the law.
Okay, disparity in wealth. Doing what?
I'm sorry. Who doing what?
How are you gonna solve so-called disparity of wealth?
By better educating the public through my very entertaining and educating content that I make that shows that people who disagree with me.
Okay, so by re-education people in some sort of leftist idealism,
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Hold on. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I wasn't done answering. Why are you talking over me?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think that educating the public is really important because it's one of the only ways that we can get reasonable beliefs out there when the system is pretty broken in a way that allows people to disseminate misinformation. I'm mostly fighting against misinformation. So yeah,
What is misinformation?
Information that's wrong and disseminated through social media. If it's done on purpose, which I think it often is, I also call it disinformation.
Who mediates what is correct information versus disinformation?
People who have a firm grasp of epistemology.
Who would that be in your opinion?
Myself better than the average Trump supporter. Experts who study particular fields. People who have a firm knowledge of history. No, appeal to people who've demonstrated that the skills they have are useful at coming to meaningful conclusions and demonstrate the fact that their reasoning is sound by yielding good results in the actions that they take within their fields. That's not authority. That's going with methods that deliver good results.
Right. So you appeal to the consensus of expert opinion, right?
No, you just asked that, and I just answered that I don't just trust that experts are like good experts. I just trust methodologies that yield good results, like the scientific method and like some other more specific stuff around that. It's not so simple as appeal to authority. No.
Also,
Okay, so
there's
would you
objective reality
trust,
that we
say,
can, believe in
Western
as well.
economists?
Why don't you let, I know you're not even really interested in letting me get a word in here, but why don't you let Matt get a word in?
Yeah, there's also objective reality that we can kind of test things against too. We have, when things happen, we do have evidence of it happening. We have video evidence. We have studies, as Oskar was talking about. We have the proper methodology, but all these things are rooted in objective reality. And when you try and say some of your alternative facts that MAGA likes to engage in a lot of the time, we can test a lot of those theories that you put out there. And if they don't align with what is actually true based on what we can verify, that is how we determine it.
Okay, but this is all predicated on the fact that you are mediating reality through a lens of the mainstream media, which has a perverse incentive.
No, I don't think that I'm doing that. I think you're making a big leap by accusing me of like using some mainstream media lens. I think that's horseshit. I don't know how much you know about my time on here, but like I got my start in doing this by seeing how poorly the mainstream media reported on what was happening here in Minneapolis during Metro Surge, so I wanted to get involved in it myself. I'm working very hard to assess how good a job mainstream media is doing at reporting on things, and then get my finger in all those pies to the best of the ability that I can, which is actually why you guys are going to start hearing me on the radio very soon. Yay, that is happening in the background. But yeah, I'm just trying to quell some bullshit in the mainstream media space. I'm not trying to shovel bullshit for mainstream media. That's wrong.
Okay, so you're just swapping deck chairs on the Titanic. So people like you would be the experts now, and then you would mediate reality to the plebs, the populace. Through
No, that's
your
not what
own
I just described.
ideology.
That's a really disingenuous straw man. Try again.
Quick production note. Hey,
Well, then correct me. What am I
Excuse
missing?
me,
What
shut
am I
your
missing
fucking
here?
mouth. My producer's speaking. What's that, Raven?
Mods, please don't invite people onto the show while we have a guest.
Yes, please don't do that. All right, what were you saying, guest?
Okay, so my entire contention with you is that I think that you do not understand the actual root causes of the things you pretend to be rallying against.
Nah, I think that's horseshit.
Okay, so everything that you pretend to, I don't know, champion for.
I'm sorry. Do you accuse me of being disingenuous in my cause?
No, I think you're
saying pretend to support. Are you? Wait. No. Okay, so I want to clarify that because you just accused me of pretending. Do you think I'm lying to my audience about what I really believe in?
No, I don't. I just think you're naive.
All right. So will you recant when you just told me that I was pretending?
Yeah, I'll recant the pretending thing. Yeah. Okay.
Good boy. Good
that
boy.
Was
now move
on.
Great. Good boy. Now move on to a more interesting and accurate point about me, please.
Your general ideological framework maintains the actual things that create so-called misinformation or uneducated voters or the immiseration of people in general.
I don't think that's true.
And you directly contribute to this.
I don't think that's true.
Framework?
Okay. Do you not think that your ideological lens of Western society is antithetical to the best interests of the working class? I form my ideals through the epistemological lens that I have on society. You've got it backwards. You think that my beliefs come first and then my observations of the world are predicated on that. It's the other way around. My beliefs come from my observations about the world. Okay, in what are you pro-capitalism or anti-capitalism?
I think that capitalism is a very broken system that rewards evil, and because of that, we need to quell the results of capitalism rewarding evil, which currently is the wealth disparity in the United States and the power that the billionaire has, along with the politicians they've bought.
Do you have any understanding about how this power comes to be? How would you quell this? By what mechanism?
Regulation.
So you are going to, through the legal process, regulate the people that already control the state. Do you see the contradiction here?
No, you made a leap because I think that regulation is the solution, but you said that I have some type of regulation that I'm offering as the solution. We will not find such regulation until we get a population that's educated enough to demand that from our politics, whether it's through voting or some other means. I don't know what the path forward is.
Is that how it's worked in history?
Excuse me, I wasn't finished. Are you interested in learning what I believe, or are you just here to shovel your fucking talking points? Yeah,
I am listening to you.
Why don't you show my audience that you're good faith and listen to what I actually have to say, which is that I don't know the path forward to fix the evils of capitalism. I don't know what sort of system is going to fix it. I don't think that the communists are right. I don't think that the socialists are right. Even if they were right, I don't think that they have a pragmatic path to get there. But what I know is that whatever pragmatic path there is to actually achieve some of the things that we want for the world in terms of these disparities in wealth and power, the only thing I know with certainty will help is education educating the populace so they are less likely to believe the sort of bullshit that is keeping them oppressed. That is the axis over which I have control with the skills and the platform that I have. So that is what I focus on, instead of pretending that I have the clairvoyance necessary to assess whether or not any particular set of regulations are going to fix the evils of capitalism after hundreds of years of people abusing capitalism, after we came away from fucking serfdom or whatever. I am not fucking like vain about myself enough to think that I have it all figured out, but I do think that if people get better educated about the issues they're facing, we as a civilization are more likely to find a better solution. That's what I'm after.
Okay, this is just complete idealism. This argument has been addressed over 100 years ago.
Yes or no? Yes or no? Do you think that a better educated population that are more likely to believe true things instead of false things are more or less likely to be successful at writing good policy to deal with the issues of the time?
Yes, but that is completely dependent on A, the political superstructure, and B, what constitutes education, the actual material basis.
Right, because you just want to fall back on the idea that anything that I say is true is like somehow an like editorialization of reality. When you've offered no epistemological position. Like, what's your position? What should people learn? What should people think is true according to you?
Marxism-Leninism.
Yeah, I thought we were fucking going that direction. Let's make it a party. Bring RJ up here.
I think.
Okay, because you, Mr. Empirical Knowledge, jibber jabber, you fail to understand the tremendous success of modern China, for example, in actually solving materially the exact problems that you claim to want to solve.
I personally value free speech too much to consider China's approach to this problem a success.
Hasn't China fundamentally and objectively solved the issues of primary concern to you?
Free speech too much to consider
the value of. You don't think China has free speech? You don't think people have free speech in China?
I think China has accomplished certain things. Their homelessness rate is lower. They've gotten their birth rate under control. There's some things that China has been successful at.
Eliminating abject
poverty. Excuse me. Are you interested in hearing my perspective, or are you going to talk over me every time I open my mouth? That was a question.
Say something of intelligence. You obviously don't understand China.
I'm sorry. Do you want to hear my thoughts on China, or are you going to interrupt me?
Sure.
That was a question. Okay.
Sure,
I value free speech too much to consider it a smashing success that China has addressed some of those things that I'm worried about. Not all of them, including freedom of expression, which I think is very important in any society that I would consider healthy in the ways that I'm after in this greater conversation about societal well-being that we're talking about. So no, I don't accept China as a good counterexample. And I think that you Marxist-Leninists that defend North Korea, China, and Russia because you yourself have fallen for the same type of propaganda that confirms your own biases about these systems that you're accusing me of falling over. Projection, my dear sir. You're accusing me of that because that's how your brain works, and it's adorable that you're bringing me China as an example of a society that I would seek. No.
Okay, can you explain to me where free speech is oppressed in China?
They don't allow Chinese citizens access to the greater internet. Google is not accessible to these people.
Why? What is the reasoning for them doing so?
Does it matter?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think it's to institute better control, because I think some of the control structures that are necessary for China's like semi-communist approach, where they allow capitalism, but like kind of
China's communist.
Yeah, well, not purely. They have capitalism. They have money. That's nonsense. That's very adorable. What you just said. That's
markets
silly.
exist in socialism, according to the entire canon of Marxism-Leninism.
Do they have money?
You were ignorant about because you never read a single word of Marxism.
No, dude, I'm just saying that you can't say that China's purely
markets
communist.
Markets existed in feudalism. They exist in socialism. It's very obvious.
Yeah, but they have money. They do capitalism.
They do not do capitalism
Not all markets are capitalistic, but China does capitalism and sometimes interferes with it.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
They don't have money. They don't participate in trade with the global world. It's nonsense, dude.
Feudal societies had money.
It's fucking nonsense for you to tell me that China doesn't participate in capitalism.
Feudal societies had money. Are they capitalist?
They're less capitalist than something like the United States, which China is as well. They're different
mode of productions. Feudal mode of production. It's not capitalism.
Okay, I think that the ownership structure is what makes it not capitalism, and China has an ownership structure that in most domains is
the ownership structure in China is not private property in the sense of liberal capitalism. It is in the socialist sense.
Yeah, because when the government sees a need to seize that means of production, sometimes they do, but we also do that in the United States. We have the Defense Production Act. Because we have the Defense Production Act, are we suddenly communist? No, dude.
There are socialist elements to all economies because there is no anarchy of production as Marx is describing.
Right. So why do you get to call China communist but not the United States?
Because they're run by one, a communist party, a Marxist-Leninist state party, and two, that state party pretends to be a dictatorship of the proletariat, aka owning the means of production fundamentally, therefore eliminating the kind of abstract notion of private property that is fundamental to capitalist society.
And how's it going with those means of production with all these private companies in China?
It's going fantastic. China is outmoding the United States. Obviously,
no, because you're saying they're not engaging in capitalism, but the means of production for all these companies aren't owned by the government, so therefore they're engaging in capitalism, as Oskar said.
The entire Chinese economy is a socialist market economy. Participation in that economy demands adherence to 5-year plans and longer, dictated by a dictatorship of the proletariat. So it is not a free enterprise.
Are you talking to Matt or me? I'm
talking to all of you morons. Yeah,
dude. I just don't take you very seriously. I don't.
Okay, so what did I say that was wrong right there?
I think your entire approach to this is wrong. You haven't addressed any of the concerns I've brought up about China. You're kind of just steamrolling and sidestepping all of them.
I'll explain to you the internet firewall.
We started by talking about censorship in China. They don't allow criticism of the government in China. That puts a full stop between any particular assessment of how their markets work. I'm just not.
There is a healthy criticism of the government. You just can't be allowed to perform this because it is a way.
I have a game. Let's play your game.
You don't understand.
Who decides what's allowed?
You do not understand. First of all,
decides what's allowed?
These same restrictions happen in America. Who
decides what's allowed? That's the question. We're not going to move on. Who decides what's allowed in terms of government speech in China?
The dictatorship of the proletariat, aka the people.
Okay, right. So fucking not you. So it doesn't matter. They don't have rules. They don't have free speech. You can decide that you like the rules for now, but the system allows for the government to change the rules in a way that you don't like.
Society has unlimited
free speech unless they say so, and you're trying to act like it's the same in China as it is in the United States.
America, in the West. It's the same exact thing in America.
I think it's better protected here. That's ridiculous. I couldn't run a show like this in China if I was this mad at the Chinese government.
Edward Snowden would disagree with you on this.
I would disagree with you on this. We're the people who are here right now. Why don't you talk to me? I'm here. Hello.
I'm saying if you, in certain instances, say the wrong thing that goes against the private interests of monopoly and finance capital, you will be extra legally dealt with.
Excuse me. Shut your mouth. What'd you say, Raven?
E.T., can you honestly look yourself in the mirror and say that Edward Snowden and me standing on the corner saying fuck the government is the same thing?
No, of course not, because what you say is inconsequential to the actual superstructure.
Why'd you bring it up?
Because it's an example of when push comes to shove, you do not have free speech in the West.
You said that they are comparable by saying it's an example of.
It's an example of someone exercising their right to free speech, which should be constitutionally protected, which is using extra legal forces by the deep state that protects private monopoly and finance capital. And they're dealt with much more harshly than in the Chinese system.
Shut up and let Raven talk. I don't use the mute button on my show, so I'm just going to have to keep scolding you like an insolent child.
Now, Edward Snowden is a pretty gray case because I'm pretty for exposing the government's secrets. But do you understand that the way that he did it did put people in harm's way by exposing names and dates and locations?
So you're taking the side of the State Department? Great. I think that's evil.
That everything has balance. There's balance. There's good.
So you support American imperialism? Okay, fine.
No, dude. Stop, dude. You're gonna get banned from my show if you keep doing this thing where you just take what somebody says and says, "Oh, you believe this," and then say something that isn't what they said. It's just an aggressive, over-talking, steamrolling, gish-galloping, straw-manning bullshit, and I just don't do it. Which is why I don't take you motherfuckers seriously, and you're not helping the Marxists and Leninists the world over by behaving like such a fucking child on the show. It's so intellectually dishonest.
First of all right. So, Oskar, you are correct in a technical sense.
About you being an insolent, childish bitch?
No, I'm talking to her. She is technically correct.
Well, I am correct about you being an insolent, childish bitch, but I don't expect you to agree with me on that. Yeah. The one who has a firm grasp of epistemology in the conversation. Yes.
So yeah, can we get back to why did you bring up Edward Snowden in relation to freedom of speech? His speech had consequences.
It's an example of the way and the depth that the State Department, the CIA, the FBI, etc. will go to. Sorry.
Do you realize freedom of speech is not all encompassing?
Of course, that's why I'm saying that it's
Right,
no
so if you put
different in
people in
America
harm-
really than China. It's just who is protecting what.
Me saying fuck the government is not putting anyone in harm. That's the problem.
It's, yeah,
I
because it's
shouldn't
completely
be gassed
inconsequential.
for
It's
it.
not also something worth protecting because it doesn't
Snowden
matter.
exposing those government secrets was not inconsequential. Was it the right thing to do?
Yeah, it was bad for American
but it's
imperialism.
Not inconsequential.
It was bad for American imperialism primarily. That's why people care about it. It's bad for private interests that control the American state.
It also put actual human beings in danger.
In what way? Please explain.
By exposing, agents that are working for the state.
People
and
that are
their
participating
families?
in war crimes? Yeah, it did
You mean
endanger
their
them.
families? Do you think somebody's child should be killed because somebody participates in imperialism?
I personally don't think so, but I think that
Then why are you
people
advocating
participating
for
in
it?
war crimes
Then why are
should
you
be exposed.
advocating
Do you
for
not?
it? Why are you advocating for it?
I'm advocating for the public disclosure of war crimes. That's all I'm doing.
Yes, but that has consequences when you do it so erratically.
Okay, right. There are, nothing is without consequence. So what is your line in the sand here?
So why are
you
you
would
using
support
Edward
the State
Snowden,
Department and
who
its
put people
global
in harm's way
imperialism because that
as
it could
the same
put some
thing
innocent
as somebody
bystanders at
standing
line?
on
But
the
what about the
corner
innocent
and saying,
bystanders
Dude,
hurt
I'm
by
not,
US imperialism?
dude. I'm sorry, Raven, for interrupting. I'm just like so not interested in talking to you today, dude. You have nothing. You have a bunch of fucking straw mans. You keep
Okay,
over
can I
talking.
at least explain
and I
the
was
Chinese
on it. I
firewall
was
to you?
on it. No, you can't explain to me some fucking Chinese propaganda that your poor ass has fallen for. I'm mostly looking for people who don't think that Jake Lang is a bitch, is who should be calling into my show today. I think it's fucking hilarious that we've been trying for 2 hours to find somebody to call in and say a fucking word to me about what happened here in Minneapolis yesterday. It's taken us 2 hours to realize the only person who's still going to call in and flail is a fucking Marxist Leninist who's guilty of every single criticism I've had of these people lacking a pragmatic approach to actually making the world the way that they wanted. And along with that, falling for a bunch of propaganda and ignoring the problems with the governments of specifically Russia, China, and North Korea. Sorry, I don't think I won that debate. I think I ended that debate because it's kind of just what we're not fucking doing today, and he's distracting away from the attention that I want to, the thing I want to put attention on with the show today, which is what happened in Minneapolis yesterday with Jake Lang. So sorry for everybody who wasn't done with that guy, but like it's just not what I'm trying to do today. I mean, normally I do debate the leftists, but it's the same fucking thing over and over again.
But can I make a quick comment?
Please. Hello, Corey. I haven't said hi yet.
Oh, how's your morning going so far, Oskar?
Good. My shower this morning wasn't too painful.
Glad there's a slow recovery. I remember, as someone who's been pepper sprayed a few times, those first couple of days are a little bit rough, and then it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, I scrubbed yesterday, so I think I'm doing okay today.
Glad to hear it. No, the line dictatorship.
Sorry for interrupting immediately again. Stick them outdoors. Box up, bitch, for saying, let's go Jake Lang, love it. Get in the fucking box, pussy. I got eye to eye with that bitch yesterday. You can get eye to eye to me through the precious little filter that you get to hide behind on TikTok Live. Sorry, Corey, as you were saying.
No, you're good. It's just, you hear the line dictatorship of the proletariat, and it's already just a contradictory statement, because it isn't, first of all, the people don't have any actual say in the government, or at least not very much. You can't pick your politicians. You can't pick your policy. You can kind of vote, but only at certain levels. And the party's not accountable to the people. The party's accountable to other party members. That's what you see in every single example of Marxist-Leninism. So they claim that they're for the people, but that's just in words. And so it's just a ridiculously bad statement, which is why liberal democracy all the way.
Yeah, I mean, and again, it's just like so transparent, this thing where it's like, well, okay, United States doesn't have pure capitalism because of this thing. And he's like, no, that's still capitalism. And then it's like, or, China doesn't have communism for this reason. It's like the inconsistency in these comparisons between whether or not China reflects the system that you're describing or the United States does. It's just like, it happened a bunch of times in that call. And I'm just so uninterested in like having to follow these guys up their asses so far to figure out what they're trying to tell me. I just don't like the smell.
And there's one other thing that Corey kind of touched on there that I think is really important. The fluidity of social classes and the fluidity of changing in social classes is really interesting, because when you say the dictatorship of the proletariat, at what point does that former proletariat become the new bourgeoisie class? Like it doesn't make sense whatsoever, because of the fact that you're going to have someone who is going to be over everybody else at any point in the system that he was talking about.
Beyond that, I mean, I'd say there's a lot more overlap between Jake Lang and the Marxist-Leninists than there are between, even the average DSA member or like leftists in the United States, because most people aren't Marxist-Leninists. but they are both high-degree authoritarian belief systems that do believe in giving significantly more power to the state and curtailing freedom of speech when it's inconvenient for them.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a country where you're not allowed to point out the very astute comparison between their leader and Winnie the Pooh. And you're going to say that is a comparable level of state censorship as what we face in America. I'm concerned about state censorship under Trump, but the reason I get to be so concerned about what compared to China are very small violations of a person's right to free speech is because we've been so privileged with free speech in this country, which is a great thing. But I just think that callers like that are a spoiled brat who have no idea how much it sucks to live without free speech. I don't think he can imagine it. I think it's a lack of compassion for the people who face some of the problems with the governments that he so defends.
Well, and they're never going to be a part of the revolution they want, right? They're going to be the idea people expecting other people to commit the violence and suffer the harm that their belief system leads to, or at least that their unrest leads to.
Yeah. Thank you, Jason, for the... Oh, sorry, let me just get some donation reads in. Jason sent $2 on Venmo to say, people like ET do more damage to their ideology than help with their nonsense. The thing I like to saying to people like ET is that I do more to promote Marxism, Leninism, just by speaking reasonably about those ideas than you do. I am moving the Overton window to the left. You are moving it to the right by showing how unreasonable people in your territory of the political spectrum are. I'm helping your cause more than you dumbass. Lucky Phil, thank you for the $2 on Buy Me a Coffee. He said, haha, dictator, and then an eggplant emoji and a potato emoji. Psst, the caller lied about being a Trump supporter. Yeah, because at the beginning he said, oh yeah, I guess sure I'm a Trump supporter, because he didn't want me to hang up on him, because he's probably too tired of getting hung up on by all the other debate hosts who see through his bullshit and don't consider it a good use of their airtime, which... most days I'd actually give a whole episode to an asshole like that to try to figure out how he's gotten so twisted. It's just that I faced Jake Lang face to face yesterday, and I'm interested in talking about that today. And that guy is too spoiled to think it's a problem that there are Nazis running the street of his country here at home. So it's just not going to be the topic. Maverick sent $2 on YouTube Super Chat to say, if Sirius gave y'all a program slot, would you take it? Yes, for the exposure. I don't like Sirius. I take issue with that sort of thing, but I would absolutely take the spot, which is why I'm not going to say numbers and names and stuff until things are solidified, but I will be periodically on the radio here in the Twin Cities very soon. That's in the works. Ryu sent $2 to say, call the leader Winnie the Pooh and see what happens. Oh, they beat me to that talking point. All right, that's all the donations for now. Thanks, everybody.
Michael Phillips might be a chat bitch, by the way.
Might be a what?
Chat bitch.
Chat bitch. Ooh, you guys ready for another debate?
Let's bring him up if he's ready, or if he's got the cojones to do it.
I do think he's Marxist in this as well, though. So just giving you a heads up.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say it's rare. I have whole episodes of this show that are dedicated to Marxist-Leninists and just the farther left ideologies generally. Not today. I fought a far right Nazi yesterday, so I'll talk to the far left Nazis a different day. Michael, how old are you?
I'm 34 in Texas. You think horseshoe theory is a thing? It's a schmaltzy propaganda.
Are you on the left or the right?
In the 30s. Anti-imperialist. I'm obviously on the left.
Okay, so you didn't respect what I just told you about what's happening on my show today. That was very rude of you. Look at you, not even starting with the most basic manners. Call back in again tomorrow. I'll be happy to have that conversation with you on a different day than today. If you were listening 45 seconds ago, that's what I said. I will do my very best to remember the next time we talk that you started by disrespecting my show. Nobody else in the queue. I'm just not doing it with the leftists today. I'm not interested. How's your day going, Corey?
Travi, if you want to talk about transgender rights, you can come up.
He's muted.
I'm almost an hour into Stairmaster, and I would like to die.
Oh, good for you, dude. Keep it up.
That's a rough but necessary start to the morning sometimes.
Hey, you gotta exercise. Jennifer sent me $10 on Venmo to say, my socialist self cringes that guy is performing my politics. The ignorance. China is greatly misunderstood, but it is not the right model. Yeah. Both sides say wrong things about China. My whole position here is can we just be fucking reasonable? Nick beat one. Was that a friendly? I feel like that's a username I've seen before. We'll see if we get a debate. Not looking for leftists today just because I fought right-wing Nazis yesterday. So Nick beat one.
I'm not going to give you a lefty argument. I did want to just say I want to know who did the initial bear spray when you guys were doing the counter protesting. Was it a provocateur? Who was the person who did that?
I think the first deployment of mace was from somebody on our side, like a anti-Jake Lang counter protester. That does not excuse the actions of the people in Jake Lang's group, because you
Absolutely
can't just,
not.
Yeah, it's group punishment. You can't just mace a crowd of people because one person over there did something. And they used mace in a way where it was like, it's not, there's no argument to be said for like, oh, they, you know, Oskar got maced because the guy next to him did something bad, and like he was, you know, there was self-defense happening and Oskar's like a casualty in it. No. They saw mace and then thought, okay, we can attack anybody in this crowd, and then suddenly started like macing people indiscriminately. I didn't break any laws yesterday, best I can tell. I'm pretty sure I managed to navigate yesterday without breaking any laws. If I did, I don't know, I jaywalked or something. But I got a lot of mace.
It seems like you did a great job. Yes.
Thank you.
But the guy who started it, that was, you're saying, I just heard earlier in the chat that someone kind of in the crowd, maybe it wasn't anyone you knew, but, you know, I think I talked to you a little bit a while ago about the agent provocateurs that you got to deal with in your midst. And I know you did a lot of work to prevent that, but I wonder if this was not a friendly who did that. They wanted to make things bad, and they, you know, so I just, if you guys all are there and you all know that, if it's just, I'm putting a request out, if you guys can ferret out who that person was, it would be valuable. That's all.
Way ahead of you. Working on it.
Cool. That's great.
One of the things I do with these things is I appreciate you very much. I'll let you down. I knew Nick Beat 1 was a friendly. W's in the chat for Nick. I am accepting brief friendly calls today just because, I don't know. Yesterday was a fun day, and clearly the Chuds are afraid to talk to me about it. So we're just hanging out with a bigger panel and talking about some of this stuff. I'm pretty sure we spotted a couple of suspicious individuals. Pretty sure it might have been them. But we'll review footage. I'm okay speaking publicly about this because it's all filmed from a million angles. So there's no amount of me revealing my analysis that's going to get anybody in trouble who wasn't going to get in trouble anyway. If I can figure it out, the feds can figure it out, the right can figure it out, Twitter can figure it out. But I do think I know.
Are you talking about the all black individuals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got them in frame on purpose while I was interviewing somebody, so we have solid face shots of them.
Yeah. I'm worried they might have been instigators. I wanted, I mean, that's why we interviewed them on stream briefly, just to ask why they were there at the beginning, because I just wanted like some FaceTime with them. So I think I know who those people were. Not like I don't know what their identities were. I just think I know which people in the crowd it was, and they were red flags before Jake Lang even showed up. So we actually have that on record. We have like there's a hot mic discussion between I think me and Jessie about them that like is on the stream somewhere like earlier in it. It's me and Jessie being like, ooh, what are those guys doing here? They're dressed suspiciously. They're behaving in a way that's different than everybody else in this crowd.
Jessie literally walked up to him and was like, hey, what you doing here?
What you doing here? And they were like, oh, you know,
essentially fuck off.
Yeah. They like said like, we're just here to be mad about Jake Lang or something like that. So we were already suspicious of some people. I have to compare the footage more carefully, but I am pretty sure it was them who potentially gave Jake Lang some of the courage he needed to do some of the things he did to the rest of the crowd. And that leaves the question of whether they were actually on our side or not. But there's always that sort of thing to worry about at these sort of events just in general. Let's set up a new gift goal, even though I normally don't even do this. What do we, let's love cheer? I don't know. Go live. Let's do 100 of those. I don't understand the gifts, guys. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to pin it. I don't pin the gift goals. I don't like that it covers the chat. Fuck you, TikTok. Snow Goes Customs is our next caller. Maybe a friendly, because I did just announce that friendlies are like kind of allowed today. Snow Goes Customs, how old are you?
38.
Friend or foe?
I'm friendly. I just wanted to first say WDU and Spider-Man for those videos I just saw. Fucking awesome. Way to go.
Appreciate you, man.
I was just going to give a quick little anecdote about the last guest, because I actually went to China in 2012 when Xi Jinping first took power. If you want to hear it, otherwise
super quick. No, yeah, super quick before we move on from it.
All right, I'll keep it short. So I was in China for 3 weeks, including Hong Kong. We got over there. Yeah, there's no Google. There was no Facebook. Instagram obviously had just gotten purchased by Facebook. So that was the only way we could communicate with people back home. And at least back then, it was so restricted. There's nothing that you could do to not see what they wanted you to see. Like if they were giving a speech, it was on every channel on the TV. Like it was everywhere. And they suppress lots of free speech, and especially why they wanted to invade Hong Kong, because Hong Kong was super Western, because it was a British colony, but it was way more Western than mainland China. And yeah, it was just, you couldn't go anywhere without seeing what they wanted you to see or hear or any of that. So it's that, I mean, that was 2012. Like, I'm sure it's about the same or still even more worse since Xi Jinping declared himself, you know, president for life or whatever. But yeah, there's just no comparison with the free speech.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the anecdote. I've heard that from lots of people who've been to China. I think there's very good evidence that the leftists have bought a different flavor of propaganda about China. I think some of the U.S. propaganda about China is wrong. And like, I bet there's a couple thoughts I have about China that are wrong that have slipped through the cracks over the years because there's lots of misinfo about China out there. But it's hard to fucking tell what's going on in China because they don't have free speech. I think that's my whole problem, is that if they had free speech, we'd maybe know more accurately what is propaganda and what isn't. And I take real issue with somebody defending a system that they can't even judge accurately because they just don't have fucking free speech. We got It's Ren, who I believe is a friendly. How you doing? How old are you?
Hey, I am 33.
Welcome to the show. Friend or foe?
Friend, definitely a friend. I wanted to tell you that I was highly impressed by something that you said as you were, I believe, walking away from the Jake Lang situation. You said Mace only hurts for a while, but institutionalized racism hurts for fucking centuries. And I literally kind of low-key started crying. Because that was a beautiful, beautiful thing to say. Beautifully well put thing to say after walking away from such a stressful situation, like facing somebody as abhorrent as Jake Lang. And I wanted to tell you that I am highly impressed by you, good sir. You are absolutely awesome. Keep on doing what you're doing. And you've got support here from Virginia.
Thank you so much, Ren. I appreciate you. And for everybody else, I will play the clip because we got it. We did get it. It was in the live. It was when me and you got reunited after the chaos yesterday.
How you doing, boss? Good. You still live? I lost it for a minute because I got maced really bad. You good? Yeah, we're we live now? Yeah. Mace only hurts for a little bit. Damn right. Institutionalized racism hurts for fucking centuries. This shit ain't nothing. Protect your city when Nazis come. How you doing, boss?
So that's me yesterday. For all the chuds who think I'm a bitch. I appreciate you, Ren. Yeah, I've seen that quote like in a lot of comment sections. A lot of people are throwing that around, and that was me right after getting maced. I was still just like fucking mad. I like recorded the short that went up on Instagram a few minutes before, or just a few moments before. But that was just me. That was me turning back around to get back in the crowd after I like washed my eyes out again.
For the chat, can we show Jake Lang cowering in his car?
Which one's that? That's wait.
I collabed with you on it recently.
It's this one. Wait, no.
That's the. Oh yeah, that was the picture. The actual video of it might not be on Instagram.
No, I think we got. Is it this one? Which one was it?
I'm not seeing it.
I think it might have been this one.
No, because I don't have the phone on this one. This is my recording.
The Nazis come to you.
Spider-Man.
I think
shout out to Timbuktu.
I hope that's me.
There's me with just so much mace pouring out of my face. I'm just like, fuck you anyway.
Are you able to pull up TikTok on the computer?
I think so. We might have to. This account I don't think is logged into one.
Can you just look up my TikTok?
Let's see.
Oh, hold on.
We'll see. Like I said, guys, we're not getting any chuds today. They are all terrified of me. Is it this one? No.
No. Wow, they're really burying me, huh?
Yeah, seems that way.
Honestly, it kind of follows the trend though, because MAGA's been scared a lot more lately than they ever have been. I've seen a drop off everywhere I've gone on this app, outside of like maybe 2 or 3 panels of just it's a dying movement. Like I'm gonna be honest.
Well, I'm excited to see once I get my phone number account set up to have live privileges, so we can just pipe some people in and just see if we get more interesting, newer conversations just from some people from a different space. Because what I really think is happening is that TikTok as a space, like TikTok's not growing as a platform enough to have new callers for us, but within the TikTok space, we've either converted everybody or polarized everybody. Like it's like white nationalists and people who are like, oh, Trump bad, maybe I'll step away from politics. Because somebody who's like, ugh, I hate that I'm going to have to vote blue, but that Trump is really a monster. The guys on TikTok Live convinced me of that. They're not very outspoken in the community. They don't pipe back in. They're just sitting and watching. So the people who do keep calling in are just these hate mongers who want to use our shows as billboards for their hate speech. So we end up just fighting like trolls and Phil Bros and all these like nonsensical Jake Lang type characters instead of actually having some very real discussions, which is why I'm trying to break out of the TikTok space. I'm very, very excited about how often the show actually does better on YouTube than on TikTok, because it gives me a little freedom from the platform, especially when we look at including phone number calls from people.
Yeah, 100%. And the only other people that I've seen recently like actually popping up are like the 18, 19, 20-year-old red pill podcast bros who are like who have kind of got suckered into like that Andrew Tate movement, like all that kind of stuff. And they're just getting into politics now, but they're still in that red pilled space. And those people are the ones who I think have been a little bit more active on TikTok lately than anybody else that we might have already conversed with it at some other point.
Well, yeah, and it ends up being like a shooting match between like Andrew Wilson talking points and whatever our beliefs are, and like that's kind of not really what the show's about. Like, I'd much rather actually talk to like people who aren't just like weaponizing debate for like fucking insult points or whatever.
I think I've been looking at doing a shift to my platform, especially with the midterms, to more discussing the need for voting as well as like discussing specific topics and like who's advocating for those topics in different states. Focus on specific campaigns, because it's just there's not a whole lot of opposition right now. And also, I don't know, like Matt, you were talking about the red pill Andrew Tate bros, but they're all outside his jail cell right now doing push-ups, so they can't get on TikTok.
That's very true. But I think that's a good way to go about it, because education leads to mobilization, which leads to change, especially in voting. Like if we can make sure people know what's going on, if we can make sure that they know how to be active in their communities as far as like getting out there, getting their voter registration done, knowing their polling station, knowing their candidates, that will lead to a little bit more change than just about anything else that we could possibly do.
On that note, I think I'm going to thank a few donors, and actually I'm going to call it early today, because without any chuds calling in, I think the better use of my time is going to be to pop around some other lives and talk to some people who want to talk to me, because I was there yesterday. Because I think I showed them I'm not a bitch. And they are only willing to talk to people who they think are bitches.
Well, thank you for all your work, Oskar, and thank you for having me up. Hope you have a good
Yeah, thanks, Oskar. Thanks for having me up as well.
W's in the chat for Corey and Matt. I'll let them go while I sign off for the day. Thanks very much. And thanks very much to Emily, who sent her $25, as she does, I think, every single day on Venmo. Thanks so much, Emily. She said major badass energy yesterday. So fucking proud of you guys. I'm fucking proud of the team, yo. Raven, I met doing this sort of thing, so I didn't have any concerns. But I know Jessie, who's been to some events, this was her first time getting dirty. This was her first time getting in there, getting elbow to elbow with everybody and catching the mace. And Jessie did an incredible job. Jessie really held her own, and she remained operationally minded all the way through, which is the difficult thing for people who haven't been to these things. It's really easy to check out and only worry about yourself, but at the end of the day, we are there like with a mission, which was 1, make Jake Lang look like a bitch and make sure that he gets locked up for being a violent bitch in public, which worked. Mission accomplished, people. Maybe we'll see if the charges stick. Caitlin, thank you for the $5 on Venmo. She said, please consider putting that quote on merch. Mace only hurts for a little bit, but institutionalized racism hurts for centuries. I will wear that on a shirt all the time. There might be more demand for that shirt than for any other shirt right now. So that might be round 2 of merch, because we are already working on round 1 of merch, which is just like generic Oskar Quentin branding. But thanks very much to all of them. Thanks everybody who donated during the stream yesterday. Like I said, I'm going to hopefully find some time to poke through the live chat replay because that VOD is staying up as a live stream, so I can thank people who sent the super chats because I know people were throwing money at us while we were out there getting maced by Jake Lang and his people. And I want to do my best to hunt everybody down who contributed during that and just say that I appreciate you appreciating what I do. Lucky Phil sent $2 to say Incel Points is my Andrew WK cover band. Yeah. Incel Points. We love our Incel Points. All right, on that note, let's find somebody to raid really quick. Who are we raiding? Do you have something, Raven?
I was just going to add in that Jessie really does deserve a big W because like I've been gassed before in basic training and then a couple times protesting, but people really don't understand how like disorienting it is. So for her to be able to take that, and keep going and stay objective focused is actually pretty huge.
I hadn't like caught mace since I was like 20 years old. I don't think I caught any during like George Floyd, like that whole era. I think it'd been like 10 years since I'd been maced. And I do remember the first time I got maced during Metro Surge, my priorities went out the window. I was like, this is my plan if I get maced. And then I got maced and I just like came to on the ground with somebody helping me. Mm-hmm. Like my brain turned off for a moment. I was like, I wasn't able to keep my head in the game. But fucking major props to Jessie for keeping her head in the game first time she got maced. That's big dog shit. Like for real. We're gonna raid Parker because he's live, and I might try to hop up today to talk about stuff because I heard some people mention that he maybe wanted to talk about what happened yesterday. So go tell Parker that Oskar said hey, and I'll maybe see you guys over there. That's the show for today. I'll catch you tomorrow, 10 Central. On also tonight, evening show, YouTube only. Make sure link tree in the bio, all that shit. Haven't been shouting it out because we've been getting donations all day, but evening show, YouTube only, Oskar Quentin on there. Go tell Parker that I said hi. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, TikTok, and goodbye, YouTube.